half forward.
Well, I think that's the thing as well, man. This guy has, these last couple of weeks particularly, has shown that he's going to be in the conversation as well to be
fucking interesting.
Yeah, sorry. Keep going on in the vast. We've all lost the toys are out of the cut. We're back. We're good though. We're good. We've ignored our apologies to our listeners and we've come through. It wasn't me. Yes, it wasn't me. We'll go back to the football. Alright, so let's talk. Guy Michael, last couple of weeks, averaging 50, 60 hits a game. He's been a colossus in the ruck.
Can you get the, you want to have the bet on it this week being the 70?
Look, I think if he wanted to, he could, but I think it's going to be up to Aaron Timms in the coach's box. I think at the end of the day...
Hang on. They're all coming over this... hopefully they're all coming over this way.
It's just doing some more
rough work and that.
Don't do the middle and that.
It scared me a little bit there. I thought he was coming off the ground.
I think... we asked a question to Timms before we got into some of the other stuff. Do you stretch the Bacchus Marsh defence? Do you play him in the ruck? I think today, and I think it's always the case with the Melton Football Club, with him as a adapt to being a key forward or ruckman, if you're away with McIntyre in the ruck or Mawson in the ruck, I'd be playing him full forward, and I'd be sending the three monsters down there and be like, if you're going to be big enough and strong enough, as a defence, good luck stopping us, because that, with Kite, Borg and a few others as the small forwards, Heaney, there's too much to stop from mine. I think that's probably why they've been the best side in the competition so far, is because they have their flexibility.
I've got a question for you. If Mark Orr goes down the full forward, or he goes down there, I'm going to get a jumper for us all. We're all going to be number 30 from now on. Alright, just support Ori up. 31, isn't it? 31. We get the 31 for Ori. Because I think Kylie's got enough hands. Would they play Butt on him, or do you think they're going to put Butt on,
you can't put it on the card, is that right?
Well, that's what I mean. Is he going to go to Ryan Carter and just stay there? That's going to be your match-up for the day. Or if Mark does come down there, do they put him on him?
Yeah, I think the other one they'll probably wrestle with is a guy like Belden. I think, if Owen plays in the fence and then where he lines up's a big question in terms of also what matchup they get. I mean, Timms himself, really, if they won't win the games though, he would be picking Owen to play full forward. So I guess it's going to be a fascinating point. I think, we could see a mix of both this afternoon, and it's no doubt, it's the obvious question is that sides against Melton have to get off to a good start, because we know how well they finish games. They have to try and maximise their slight advantage maybe at the start of the game and try to kick away. So if the Cobblers can get off to a good start here, I think they're going to show, but for mine, you think the Bloods are still too... You can't not pick against them. They've put no foot wrong so far in season 2022.
Do they play another fine role in another favourite of the 979 boys in Cotter? Or do you think they're going to just have to go, do what you're going to do, there's nothing we're going to be able to do? Because you try and stop him, then we've got Manito. You stop Manito, then we've got Suda. So, we've got three half-back flankers who are all quarterbacks. Where do you go from there? Do you know what I mean? Like, do they send a Belden down there and play on one of them to stop one of them? Or do they say, no, look, our back line's already stretched, we can't afford it?
I think at some point, clubs are going to have to start looking at putting some more forward pressure on the likes of Geordie Cotter. I mean, there's only a couple seasons ago, he was playing both midfield minutes, got injured, went across half-back, and I mean, you see that in the AFL particularly, you see gun midfielders go across half-back and essentially just dominate. Yeah. That's what he's done ever since he's been there, but I think if the opposition coach, if I'm Tommy German, I'd be looking at one of my small forwards, even if it's like a Dominic Neeson, or if it's or someone has to engage as well, because otherwise, you can't allow him to have 30 kicks in the game of footy, otherwise he'll catch you up.
I tell you what, now there's two umpires out in the middle, and you've got to be about the youngest I've seen the umpires on there. Now that's good. That means that there's kids coming through and got to do something and keep umpiring. That's great to see.
Players are making their way into position this afternoon.
And we discussed this, but McIntyre's coming to the bench, as is Suda, and it looks like O'Leary.
I can't remember Tom Button, the other one.
Yeah. So that shows you just where Melton are at, that those four blokes are coming to the bench. They'd be forced starting 18 anywhere else.
And Jake Owen looks like he's going to centre half back to start things here for the Cobras.
And it's going to be a tight old tussle. So if he comes down the back,
basically just leaves Willards and Freeman as the forwards this afternoon. They need to kick a big score between them if there will be any chance. You're listening to BFL Game Round on 979 FM. Round 12 action in our Football Netball League. It's Melton hosting Bacchus Marsh. First versus fifth. Well, basically listen to the live is on 979 FM. We are ready in the commentary bus position here on centre wing for the action live between these two big Eastern Bloc sides, and they're up and running. First hand, I'll give actually points there to the young fella on the ruck, and he got the clearance there with me again, send it inside 50, looking for the Cobras. Bouncing ball more, so we get out there first. Substitute zone advantage, and let's Walker run onto it. Outside ball kick was clever. Worked out nicely to Hickey. Right back to the running man in Mawson. Tries to dribble past that line in the way by with Jake Owen. He takes the mark. Measured pass. Left to be a little bit too desired, and not able to get some pressure around the footy here and try to stoppage on centre wing. And early signs. He just came close side there on Owen. Owen getting a little quick touch.
No, he needs to stand on Owen, even if Melton got the ball, because Owen's too dangerous otherwise.
Here's Kings, holds with a foot count, he did nicely with the hand pass. Teammate was a collective immediately by Cotter, saying, "You're going nowhere, son." And roll up and settling on the broadcast side.
Yeah, we're having, this is what I do, looking at Owen and now they're playing on each other.
Let's move him back, still dry. Put the arm out in the end, or got him, and in the end I think they're both going to say hold the ball in correct disposal. So they'll work out for the Bloods. Hand pass off to Watkins. They'll get a kick away just in time towards centre half for Owens from the side. A nice spoiler in there. He knew his intended to hold, walking the long sleeves, going off to his brother, had nowhere to go, and he's gone. Holding the ball, free kick will go the way of Bacchus Marsh and Shea off the still dryer. He'll look inside 50 with the kick. It's a nice presenting pass for Willards to take the mark at centre half forward. Still breaks through a tackle, snaps the ball around the body and sends it towards the full forward position, but in the hole, the mark taken there by Mark Orr.
And it just shows you Mark Orr, how well he does play it, and that's the difference with Dan Burton not being in the opposition side.
Well, Walker gets the hand pass across, Miguel from the fence, looks out to a vacant outside where his teammates drop the mark, and Watkins over goes back to Mahio, still in a bit of powder room, takes one bounce, did get back up from slippery conditions. You know, the sun is shining towards half forward with a kick, was on the handy, looks to be a bit to his eye. Not perfect by the Bloods, but we'll go down half forward flank on the other side of the ground.
And if he needs any chance to beat Owen today, Owen is a running machine, you know that, can run all day. He's just got to run him side to side like a window wiper and try and run him off his feet, which will be pretty hard for him himself.
The reason is he's going to be a luck with it, which is allow Owen to be able to wristband defence. Trying to run like there was media, couldn't hold on to it. Opportunity for the journey, let's keep it outside, we'll do it down the line towards centre wing, off hands Mawson. Opportunity to hand pass on the inside. Walker going kite bounds, mate, got one over the shoulder, umpire agrees with the free kick will go his way. This is of the Lachlan variety. Looks across, Cotter. Steps around to the left side this time. Wobbling the kick right towards full forward. Carter, too much space, too much time, almost too much easy opening goal. He's missed to the near side. And behind Melton lead the Cobras and get the score.
As we wait for this kick out, we just have a look around the way Melton set up. It's a straight line across the 50.
But, the long kick towards the outside, the beauty. Right stay up, Jake Owen takes the mark. Has an option over the top, and that's where he goes with the kick. Hard running still drive to take the mark. Can come inboard to his brother and Riley once, but Nick Stowe dry holds it up. Spearing pass. Finds it to the mark taken there by Earsmere. And comes across the ground and working through a couple of plays here. Culver gets it. Wants to go across the ground again, and the Cobras happy to possess here. Using the footy well in the early passages here. 3 minutes going in the opening turn. They have it on the other side. Chipping towards half forward. Leading man there was King. Too tall for him to kick. Humphrey with it. Slipped over there at the crucial point. Still got the handball away just in time before Kike could bear him down. Trying to hack it out with a bit of Shea. Still dry going nowhere. Wrapped around 360 in the tackle. Ball up. 60 from goal. We'll get the ball up.
And then there's that Harrison Hanley tenacity that we like and we saw against Tyson Lever. As soon as he gets his arms around, they know where they're going.
When they're able to be back in Marsh Ruckman, and decisive on it down. Trying to follow up with a big man. And by speed, free kick for a hold, but it's going to come back the way of King. He didn't want the footy for Bacchus Marsh. It's not going to be King, it's going to give the show instead. The veteran looks across and finds the target. Mark taking it by Nick Stewdryer. Piercing ball inside 50, just in the feet of Wilts, who's tried to claim the mark, couldn't fool the umpire on in the commentary bus position, and they'll ball up at 50. There's the ball. The goal going around, 50. The electronic scoreboard reads just the one behind, favouring the Bloods. Hand pass inside 55, Bacchus, Marsh. Only found it was Cotter, off to the head row. He just pounds a long ball towards the outside. Nice marks taken in by Carter. There's a balloon variety. He gives up the hand pass. Towards halfway, the kick hanging on to Mark. And we'll take the grab. And then the Cobblers on the inside with the hand pass. The Frankie just tried to dribble a kick out of the fence there, didn't quite work out. Cobblers over this and then it's crossing even still dry, left foot kick towards centre wing, all in front. King was bearing down, spilled at the back, didn't have to make a contest out of it. Mark all follows up with the hand pass, cops it up. Cobblers trying to do the attacking towards centre half forward, humps the intent, getting back's kite though, and he marks on his chest. Comes across the ground, and now Melton with the middle with a piercing ball, a nice kick. Hickey plays on, sends it towards full forward, Carter at the back, couldn't quite take the mark, but did enough to bring it down. Goes the second time, Carter got his hands around him, opportunity over for the Bloods inside 50, Kite with the 1-2, looks across to Kennedy on 50, assesses the option, pulls the kick towards the goal face, in the end it's gone all the way home. And the opening goal of the day is going to block Kennedy. His kick just had a bit more on him than maybe the back smash defence doors.
It was definitely a hard fought goal. They've run around, they've done the hard work, and he come in with the changes now as Melton are trying to set up their side. And he did say to us that he's going to change things up, Timsy. He's not going to start his new start at 18, and he didn't lie to us. He's done exactly that. And O'Leary's come on the field, I think it was for Lachlan Walker. 1-1-7 Melton win Max Marsh yet to score here after 6.5 minutes played in the opening turn. Very much an arm wrestle here, both sides having the opportunity going forward, but the Bloods once again being just a bit more clinical. And the young bloke's beaten Mark Wood again for the second time.
Still dries, had plenty of it. Busts his way through the hand pass to Shea, boots the ball that's wide and just pitches in the field of play on the wider dimensions here in the Ferguson Park, and we'll get a ball in between half forward and centre in the broadcast side. The NFL going around 979 FM, 7 minutes played in the opening turn. It's 1-1-7 away of Melton. Ruckman usually win it down, tough spot to win it here on centre wing. Quick kick coming forward by the Bloods, the Frankie. Wrapped up by Hickey and Moody, somehow shovel the ball towards Owens, who just pounds the ball towards centre wing. High footy and tough on the mark, but in the end the Bloods again too good on the defensive side of the game. Short balls in the Moody direction, arcs a bit of a kick up, but it comes back to Cotter, who pounds it inside 50, blips, piercing ball, opportunity with a hand. He could take the mark with the one hand, and the Marsh might come away with it. The Frankie, hot footy to Culver, who threw it back to the Frankie. Going to come back though with Orr, although he missed it with the bounce. Meager got down low, gave the hand pass up there to Eastmere, towards half forward. Mawson from the side, unable to mark. King stepped around the weakly tackler. Kick was into the man of the mark, but it's wobbled out of bounds. We're going to ball in. Actually, Jason Robertson with the kick mark. We're going to ball in the half forward line.
Yeah, it's been nice, tight, hard football, and it's what we expected from Bacchus Marsh. And as long as they keep that up, they keep themselves in the game. But he needs to start playing in front of Jake Owens. Otherwise, Jake Owens is going to have it easy, especially as the ball gets wetter and heavier.
Tricky. Up to me, got the clearance, only as far as Culver. Tried to take him on and was brought to the ground. Should be holding the ball on a free kick the way of the Bloods. And here's here a Borg. As man left or right, just pounds a long one down the line and well on with Carter. Could take the mark, ball to deck. Still dry, wrapped up by Hickey. Smooth free in the tackle. Hickey goes again and just slaps the forward looking for Jacob. Hickey with there was Lachlan. Off the deck went Hickey, inside 50. Carter, of the Ryan variety, couldn't get out to Robert Longham, who had a bit of space inside for a 50.
We noticed this against Redeem in the early parts of the game. Melton didn't have clean hands, and again today. It seems that Melton aren't being clean with their hands. Would you agree with that one?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, slightly greasy with the conditions this afternoon. A little bit of precipitation before this one, make it hard to completely go with the footy. There's another stoppage inside 50 in favour of the Bloods. 9 minutes played.
And if you have a look here, Mark Alston kicked behind the play all by himself with a Bacchus Marsh person in.
McIntyre tried to get beat to ball, German with the clearance. Cotter comes across, left to keep the ball in by hand. Down ball, tried to shake his Baker's way through it, and the way it worked. Mawson with a wobbly left foot kick to the full field position, but got a fist in the head, brought it to ground. And a nice big tackle by Owen. We got things up 35 metres out from goal. Not a long and flying shot on goal there from the Bloods.
And again, this could be the thing that Tingy talked about, not the fast start, why aren't they starting fast? It could be again come back to him in this game if they don't hurry up and move on.
On the early, on the back once again. Looking dangerous, but not going anywhere. McIntyre, pretty much unopposed there, one it down. German in position A, just holds things up. So 3-4 ball obviously in the same spot, but 35 metres out from goal. Defensive goal for the Cobblers.
And you know what happens next?
On the Antonio, beats the ball, flying shot on goal, he's all the way through. On cue, well said, Sav, goal to the Bloods. And first goal in Bloods colours for Dan O'Leary.
And the thing is
and they come from everywhere.
And the thing was, as we're watching that, and as we're watching that, what can we see? We can see the backs, the Melton players standing off the back loose. People from the Bacchus Marsh have to pick him up. They do that so well, and McIntyre, like a lot of people don't think of him like this, but he is a great tap ruckman, and he taps it down so well.
And occasion there, Lou is the one who's the beneficiary. Goals to Kennedy, goals to Lou to start things off here. Back underway, 10 to the mark. Oh, down to the last goal kick, Lou towards half forward. Kite, and over the mark as a dribbling inside forward 50. Owens gets down low, down Still Dryer. And then just go up to a teammate running past him, Cree. He dribbles one in towards the middle of the ground. Here's the body right there with Geordie Kite, and he'll send it towards 50. McIntyre sees it back, Carter, hand pass inside, off the Hanley. We're just queuing up a minute. It's all too easy for the Bloods, but this one is away to the right and mine a score. Well, quit the woodwork on the way through, I think it did. 2-2-14.
And Jordan Kite's actually started quite well down there. He's sort of playing in the middle, half-back flank, and he's playing on at the moment. He's Roland Porter, and he's keeping him very quiet.
But trying to come towards the broadcast side, missed his target. Blood's trying to get some numbers here across to make something happen through Cotter to Orr, so two redheads the combined, and he goes towards centre forward with a kick, but showed a bit too much of it. Cut off. Now Brave the Bacchus Marsh in the early parts here. They're in control mode already as Culver comes across the front to Eastmere. He's able to take a bounce up the running 2 steps and try to kick off the long one to come inside a little bit. Tough one to deal with. Robson couldn't find a target. Now the Bloods get some numbers across. Mawson lurking, couldn't gather. Bacchus Marsh had to send it towards half forward. Robinson couldn't take the grab. Ball in dispute here between 70 and half forward, and in the end, the free kick's only could get the way of the Cobblers. Bacchus Marsh work it. From centre wing to the broadcast side, inside 50 with a wobbly line, off hands, unable to mark. There was the Melton defender in Hickey. Cotter off to Orr, goes to a teammate in Suter. He sweeps it wide on the field, and in the end the Bloods through some nice control work to get to the other side, chipping over the top, trying to find Kite to talk with his strong dukes as that one trickles out play with the ball in centre, Richie opposite from the broadcast position on the other side, will be the ball in.
What do you like so far, mate? You've seen?
I just think it's been the control from Melton. I mean, the way that it just sort of, not one dominant player at the minute, but everyone just sort of filling in and getting involved, and as they do it here, like through a chain of handballs, seeing inside 50 was Hickey, but out before should be free kicked away of Owens deep in defence, but you can go through the whole 22 of the men, they've all pretty much been involved in the contest.
And one noticeable change now is McIntyre's come on the ground, Jake Owens has gone to him, and Healy's gone down the full forward and playing on the backman in Ryan Chandler. So they're making those moves, and I think McIntyre is a better option for Owens.
I think in the end as well with the Cobblers is They're just sort of, at the minute, in desperation mode and trying to hold on to the game, and probably not having the same gear they've had the last month and a bit with their ball use anyway.
Well, we thought Mark would have a dominating game. But for his first quarter, I've definitely got to give points to the young leader. He's definitely held his own, and if not ahead of Mark.
Gets a free kick here from half back and tries to drill the pass in the Still Dry direction. We get the way of Nick Still Dry. Could go back to the big man with the 1-2. Racking him up as well these days as Nick. Towards the outside, but also an exposed to see the players. We've got a ball in. Ball use hasn't been fantastic from the Cobras moving forward of centre. They trail yet to score to 2-2-14. Maybe it is the same sort of scoreline from Brazil's match. Touch wood for Cobra fans.
It's not.
Or wins it down. Culver's kick was partially smothered, but work out Espinato was sent inside 50 with a long ball to the 1-1 contest. Phillips got a spoil here just in time. In the end, Suter comes involved as well, just to lock things up inside 50, 35 metres out from goal.
And once Blake Suter's got his arms around you, you ain't going nowhere.
Umpire's happy just to wait a second, let Ruckman get into position here. Was it a block or was it, that's what the umpire saw it.
King's got the free kick. About 35 out in the slot angle.
King and Jason Robson, Robinson.
Okay. Oh, can't tell. You've got to go from here. It's even worse when Burton's out there as well. They just look like three twins.
So just inside the paint, 40 metres from goal.
I knew you didn't pick up on that. I meant triplets.
As a team, I can't comment. Comes in with a kick and Robson's one's across the face and offhands him for a minor score. Marsh on the board, one behind, trails 2-2-14, and they brought in Robson in the off-season, mainly to play in defence, found himself up forward. So just another option for them in season 2022.
And that's what you've got to do, unfortunately, especially this year. There seems to be a lot more introduced to the bigger men of the competition than there are the smaller men. So you've got to do with what you got. It's too late now to bring anyone in.
There's Melton rotated towards the outside, trying to find McIntyre as a ball when they're playing with a ball in. 13 points the margin, BFL game of the land, and 979 FM. The home of the Valor Football Netball League. Well, back in the field of play, Audrey Ballet, it's young man Amelia. Again, the big guy from Max Marsh doing well, got in hand on this one, but not going anywhere. It's wrapped up, Shea, bowling pack, no surprise. Back on the way, and again Meager did well, but quick kick there coming from Button towards half forward from the side. Hanley couldn't hold on the mark. Owens got boots of ball, dribbles in towards the middle of McPherson Park. Sudden his own advantage there, nice play by Kennedy. Might get his a third or fourth time in front of himself, but sticking to the task there was Still Dry. After his brother and Riley, he robs it inside 50, but in position A, the innocent King and Geordie Carter take the mark. Geordie Carter comes across the ground, finds his target. Mark taken in by Walker. But he can chip it in the middle of the ground and find Hamley's in their space. Could take a bounce, rolls his eyes, goes to the full forward. Carter pretty much on a post, takes the mark, and that's just too easy at the minute.
Mate, he actually grabbed that ball from behind him. He'd actually run under that ball and took the mark that was actually behind him. What a pair of hands.
Directly in front, probably kiss shooting from 40 metres out or so.
As Barry say, you can put this down.
Ryan Carter, their leading goalkeeper in season 2022. Comes in, kicks away to the left a little bit, and then scrapes through only for a minor score.
See, because Barry Egg didn't say it. Barry Egg didn't say it.
Yeah, the credit, it was through the big sticks over the top.
Exactly right.
2 goals, 3-15. Is the Bloods leading back. Max Marsh just one behind, but short ball misses as well. He bounced the guy, Still Dry, was forced to just bang it on the wood. Nice mark by there, taken there by Huxbill. We'll go with that. Chip it over the top. Nice mark there by King. And then Lake taking that one. Plays on, kicks it down arc though, Cotter. Having a very fine start this afternoon. Off half back with the smother. Marsh getting some numbers across here with Still Dry to Shea. Left foot kick towards half forward. There you go, another grab. Fist of the way there. Button coming from the side, wrapped up in the tackle. And the Bloods says, give it to me, I'll throw it up. Electronic scoreboard. Favourable for the Bloods here, leading by 14 points. And that's the boys in front of.
And the thing is we're sitting here at 18 minutes gone, and we're just, what watching this, it is a tight arm tussle. The umpires have been very, very quiet. They've called the free kicks when they've been there, and that's what we want to see from them today.
This man has been. Jordan Cotter with a free kick. Kick inboard's beautiful. Finds his target marked over by Hickey. And continuing on. And a lot of bright combinations this afternoon. Jacob finds Lockie Hickey. He takes the mark. Outside finds Walker.
Just a bit of a hold-up. The backsmash aren't flooding, but they're playing one-on-one, but they just seem to be able to slow the Melton machine up.
He doesn't have one. He's better than Lockie Walker in the middle as well. He missed him. The opportunity for Eastmiller. He broke a tackle. Runs through the middle of midfield to back. Tries to send towards half forward. Suda, loose man. Able to find it. Give it to Phillips. Took hand pass there for Hickey. Got in the way of his teammate in the end. Created a problem. Coughed up though. And sent forward there by Melton. Owens left it behind on this occasion, but up to the Frankie, and up half back they go. Nice kick inboard's a good one. Marked anyway. Eastmiller can take two of this one. Towards half forward with the kick, and in front of still drive. Doing the back strike kick was perfect. He marks. Goes inside 50 with the pass, and it's a good one. It's measured and worked. Found Willits in the left forward pocket. He went right for goal for the first time this afternoon.
Now, yet again, that time he came out of the back line, Owens all by himself. He was about 10 to 15 metres away from him and behind him. He's got to be next to him, otherwise Jake Owens is going to pick it up day in, day out, and it's going to make it hard for either the Carter brothers or Braid and Kite to get involved in the game.
So as time ticks on, Willits will come in the opening turn for the first time. It's across the face, won't register a score. Off hands, backsmash try and make something happen there. Nothing to do. Nice tackle applied in defence there by Suda once again to lock things up.
And that's two goals that backsmash have kicked from that far side, and both of them have gone across the face of goal.
Back on the way. Slap forward by Robinson. Still drives him in. She's able to shark it off to King, who got boots of all, but it's away to the left-hand side of the goal face for a long score. So two behinds. 2, 3, 15 now the scoreboard here. Max Marsh yet to get a major, but absorbing the pressure here to stay in the contest. Hoping to win recess going into the first break. Cotter, as always, to kick in. Looks to the outside with the pass, and it's a nice one for Hanley. Showed good jukes to strong. He marks. Happy to go backwards to the team on Marito. Rear mark. Melton, happy to possess here. He wants to go as a youngster though. Yet to lose a game of senior footy. That dare and dash has been one of the reasons why. And he pulls the kick in, finds the target. Melton on the line with the Hickey. Big ball from the back there, from the defence there of Neeson. The last thing inside was good. Found Hickey though for the Bloods. He will send it towards 4-4 once again. Looking for Carter. 1-2. Yes! Holds on the third attempt. And 35 metres out directly in front. He'll once again for goal. This time a little bit closer, but still directly in front.
You think after he shot earlier, he should be able to put this one through the middle. I'm not going to use Barry Legs quite because it didn't work last time, but this time it should.
Of course, it's only issues of only big sticks.
He seems to be once he gets his radar set in, he's very good, but it's getting that radar set in.
That's a lot better off the boot. Spun perfectly as one of the goal by his hat. 3 goals, 3-21. Melton moved to leading the Marsh, just the two behinds here in the early stages on BFL going around on 9-7-9 FM. Ryan Carter as his first goal of the day.
And we haven't called him yet, but Roden. I don't think you've mentioned his name yet, and I'm trying to see if he's even on the ground. I can see the Frankie. He's got standing next to the hand. He is at the moment. But if you have a look at as they set up with Jake Owen. Jake Owen's standing there in the middle. The Frankie's now going up to handle. No, he's gone up to hang him. And Jake Owen's actually, I don't know which way you want to go, but looks like Braden Kite staying with Jake Owen. Button, on the ground, works it out. And Taylor and Kennedy took on a little down step, handled to himself more than anything. Still not working. I did well to make something from that because ran into a bit of trouble. Hickey back to Kennedy. His kick was smothered. Cut off. Button trying to get him in there. King trying to get the boot on ball. Real wrestling on the ground here. Ball
talk, turns into the afterburners, can look towards the broadcast side if he likes. Rather than kick stuff on the deal with Mark's taken in defence there by Culver. Defensive side of centering on the broadcast side for the Marsh. Looks to work it towards half forward with a long kick. Fleeting is the intended target. Dribbling ball inside 50 that came from Porter as a bounce out of play with their ball in 35 from goal.
And as it's already been said, the entry into the forward line hasn't been great from Bacchus Marsh, whereas the Melton people are kicking it to their strengths, which is above the wing card is heavy. He seems to flock into everywhere and it's like that.
Back on the way. Wilt's doing the luck work on this occasion, putting it down. Bosses though gives me throw it in here, 35 from goal for the Marsh this time. 19 points the margin here, and BFA going to the round. We're back underway, and once again looks like another stoppage will be the result.
Either we know what happens here, it's sort for a bit throw ups, and then we get a free kick or a snap goal.
Organs are down. Watkins was the intended man, but forcing the role of defender, and applies a big tackle to lock things up. East Point lead Bella 20-2. Scores a level between Daly and Melton, 9 points apiece. Sunbury off to the flyer against Lakeland League 38 to Lakers 20. No scores come through yet for the other game between Spassball and the Lions. The Marsh went forward, showing goals across the face from one score, so they're 3 behind to the Cobblers. And in the AFL, there's an upset blow in there, North Melbourne 45, leading Collingwood 26. Which brings a small smile on my face. And mine.
Barry, looking smile on your face? No, mate, doesn't bring a smile Barry X-rays.
Short kick on the fence there from Cotter, once again finds his target. And the Bloods flip it towards full back, finding Suter. Measured pass is a good one, finding his target there in Hilo. Full back. He go short as well though, Leary. Keep the goal and started well early. Goes back to me, those whacked him up in this big passage play. Measures one close to the boundary line towards McIntyre. That was a good kick, and now they can work it through Hickey. Gives up looking for the 1-2 with Hickey. And then he pounds it from half back towards centre half forward. Owen for first to spoil, but Butt was in Division A. Read it well off the hand. Pounds it towards full forward. Carving the goal square, marks in the line. It was going through for a goal. He'll go back, doesn't matter. Played on, goals. Academic from there. He's second of the afternoon. It is all Melton here on the first back. That was just too easy and just too simple.
How would you be if you're Tommy Button and running into an open kick the ball and he drops it?
Are you going to get too many?
No, he doesn't, young Button, but he's doing a great job out in that far wing. He has been doing it all year. As you said, there's 22 blokes running in from Melton today, and all 22 are providing something. Manito definitely starring down back, as is Cotter, but the great one that I like is Suter. Like, we know he's a great tackler, but he's been tackling so well the whole time.
Just forcing mistakes out of the Bacchus Marsh defence in it. Very one there from go going, punching towards and taking side of the ground. O'Leary with the clearance. King fumbled, now wrapped up by Button, the last goal kicker. And the umpires say, give it to me and I'll throw it up. Taking side and centre of the ground for the Bloods. We approach now 28 minutes in the opening term.
And that's a long term considering there's only been 4 goals kicked.
Mega did well running as far as O'Leary. Off the Kennedy, sends it inside 50 with the kick. Was in from McIntyre, but the kicks got a bit too much mustard on as it dribbles around, so we're going to go in with the 35 metre mark. Inside 50 for Melton.
Now this is going to be an interesting bit. Now that McIntyre's gone on the ruck against Media, Jake Owen's now standing handy. Is it me or is it just it's whoever's closest to Jake Owen pretty much stands him?
I think that's exactly what I'm alluding to in the interview pre-game, that it's going to be collective this afternoon. We've seen that with a number of guys getting just the match-up on the defender. There's Jeremy with the clearance. And I'm the way Ismail, manufacturer handling many room to cover, that's from in the back, I would have thought. Free kick by the way of the Cobblers, is in half back. By the way of German. Comes across the face and finds his target in King. Measure ball to still dry. able to keep it in, off one step, pulls the kick and finds his target. Nice ball up, finds Shea, takes the side setting on the outside, goes back to King. Left foot kick will go just inside 50 for Willits. Almost a mark over the top. And then it must have hit the turf on the way down. And that's free kick. No, it's paid the actually has paid the mark. My apologies. Just didn't see the whistle in the arm go out. No, he extracted the coach's box in front of me here on center of the broadcast side. And up the side, and Willits will line for goal. He's that thumping kick of the football. Against the Breezer, this will be his best effort, right on 50. So Willits to line up. Kick it on its way, gets very close to being able to mark, try to get some extra distance, but in the end, no score will register. So it's the quarter time here on BFL Game of the Round. It is Melton, 4 goals, 3-27, leading the Cobblers 3 behind, and Sam will go to you, the goalkeepers.
So far we've got the leading goal kicker of the competition, or one of the leading goal kickers of the competition, Brian Carter with 2. We've got Buck Kennedy with a great goal, and Daniel O'Leary kicking his first for Melton this year since he's come across.
And then that's all that's this year, listening to BFL Game of the Round on 9 FM. We wait for 7 to turn live from McPherson Park.
A hot cup of tea, a hot water bottle that bursts in bed, backing into a radiator heater, smoking in bed or having your nightie go up against the heater.
Dr. Michael Weymouth, plastic burn surgeon, Alfred Hospital.
There's so many simple ways that you don't even think about that can lead to catastrophic burns. I'm not sure people really appreciate how horrific burns can be and the long-lasting impact they can have on some people's lives.
Visit checkyourhotspots.com and make sure your loved ones are fire safe this winter. A message from Victoria's Fire Service.
Do you want to discover the newest playgrounds, enjoy a great night out, and taste the best treats on offer in the city of Melton? The free Melton City Much More app will help you to discover, taste, enjoy, and explore much more in the city of Melton. Download the Melton City Much More app today from Apple iTunes or Google Play. Melton City Council is a sponsor of 979 FM.
What's today? It's Thursday. Really? Feels like Tuesday. Tuesday has no feel. Monday has a feel. Friday has a feel. Sunday has a feel. I feel Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, shut up, the both of you. You're making me nervous.
Get that 979 FM feeling every day. With a great mix of music and the biggest variety, check out 979 FM's program guide on your computer, smartphone or tablet at www.979fm.com.au.
This broadcast is brought to you by the Ballarat Leagues Club, the Ballarat Football League's own licensed club that proudly supports country football and netball. The Ballarat Leagues Club, 52 Humphrey Street North, is a proud sponsor of BFL Game of the Round.
For progressive scores and to keep up to date with news from the BFL and country football, follow BFL Game of the Round on Facebook at facebook.com/BFL Game of the Round.
979 FM, keeping the western suburbs informed.
Well, this is BFL Game of the Round on 979 FM, and a quarter time our broadcast game. Melton 4-3-27 leading Bacchus, Marsh 3 behinds. Scores from around the ground sees Ballarat 2 behinds trailing East Point 3-2-20. Darley 1-4-10 just in front of Melton South 1-3-9. And Lake Windaree 4-2-26 trailing Sunbury 8-2-50. Don't have scores from Redan versus Sebastopol. In the AFL, 25 minutes into the second quarter, sees Collingwood 5-2-32, trailing North Melbourne 8-4-52. In the Little League, Wood and Heskett 1-6-12, trailing Macedon 4-7-31. Whittle 2-4-16, leading Diggers Rest 1-1-7. And Melton Central's 3-2-20, leading Mansfield 2-3-15. Don't have scores from Western Lands versus Wallen. And finally in the VFL, Fox Hill Hawks 5-9-39, trailing Southport 8-14-62. Werribee 6-7-43, leading Coburg 1-1-7. So that's some scores from around the various leagues here on BFL Game Around. Let's now cross back to the guys at McPherson Park for the second quarter. Thank you very much, Laura. Back here at McPherson Park for BFL Going Around on 979 FM. Quarter time, it's the Bloods 27, the Bacchus Marsh Football Club on 3 behinds. And I do have a score for everyone who cares between Sebastopol and Redan. And a fast start for Ballarat. They lead 31-1 at quarter time in that one. Sad with one of the genius in the concrete bus position this afternoon, picking the Kookaburras. So he's been up with himself.
Yeah. Question. No, I didn't. I changed my pick. You didn't listen. Quickly.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes.
In the ruck. We asked how many tap outs, and I said, well, are we going to have the bet on the 70 for Mark Orr? My God. I hate to agree with Barry Ag, but what a great judge of talent is one D. Burton. Because he told us he could play a bit, we could do this a bit, or he didn't tell us, he told, according to Barry Ag, he told him.
Yeah.
What can we say? He marked, tap work. I think I only saw him lose 1 or 2 ruck contests. He's around the ground. You know, is he Dan Burton's pet project before he leaves the club? Whatever he does. Oh, excuse me. Make him the Dan Burton robot. You can't because he's about foot taller than Dan Burton.
He's done very well though. First time I've seen him in the flesh, of course, made his debut last week against Lakewood Noreen. It was very good. And this week has been superb against, I guess, a colossus in Mark Orr, who's been dominant every week he's put on the Bloods jumper in season 2022. Although a happy Aaron Timms, I think, a quarter time, who the forward ball movement has been superb. A very frustrated Tom German, who I just, against the Breeds, unable to really make any inroads despite having a fair bit of footy in that term, Sam.
Well, you definitely say that, and it's not that their forward line have driven down, it's that one kick coming into the forward line. But one thing I have noticed is Bacchus Marsh have been able to hold up the Melton run. Normally Melton get the ball like a Cotter, Manito, or Sula, and it's out and then the wing one kick later. Today they've had to pass the ball around to find that way out. I think Bacchus Marsh have done that brilliantly well. And I think Jake Owen is showing what Jake Owen does and shuts down the game very easily. It's an off back.
So the Cobblers getting back into this one, the scoreboards are back underway. All to hit knockdown on this occasion. Tries to follow his own good work. Hickey was an inside 50 with a kick and strong hands. Carter holds on. Takes the mark. This looks like a Valine variety. Yes, it is. Just inside the paint. Once pass off to McIntyre. Kick was too tall for him. The kick in the end being too unselfish. It's cost them. As the Cobblers can go the other side to Cree. Was in a steel drive. He's had an absolute heap of the footy. Just gets bit to bed with him for low down. Then goes back to Suter now. And then the Bloods can go the other way. Cotter looks across half back and finds Kite. Goes to Norson. Got an uncon down to his feet. And then the ball's triggered out play and we got a ball in. So win for the Cobblers there. Wasn't pretty, but they got the ball in on the half forward line.
You don't care as long as you get hold of the ball and stop the run, and that's what they did there. Melton normally not a 3-4 handball team unless it's going forward. That time they were going around in circles, handballing into each other.
They had to try and make inroads in the scoreboard here with the Cobblers. Media takes to the front position, wins it down. Opportunity for the running man there in Eastmuir, who kicks towards the top of the goal square, and Willits. Phillips got rid of him, sees the ball at the back, will rush it through from score.
Can I ask you a question? Mark Orr, maybe it's beating Mark Orr, but he's jumping over him. I didn't think we'd ever say that someone's jumping over Mark Orr, but that's how he's doing it. Maybe he's showing the other ruckman in the comp how to do it.
Cotter, moving back in the field of play, has gone short of a couple of kick-outs, and this time he's pointing a bit more along traffic, but it's forced to hand on to Mahito. He flips up the hand pass to Kite, then go back to Cotter, and then back to Mahito. So about 3 or 4 handballs, they get out beside the defensive 50 and pull the kick down the line on centre wing, and a nice mark, and the running man's Carter inside the button, back to the Mahito, who didn't stop going, flipped up the hand pass there to O'Leary, he sweeps it wide of the field, was looking for him, but he had nowhere to go, still alive, button off the Carter from 55, pulls the kick towards full forward, Kite takes the mark, and just the chain of handballs on here on the broadcast side was a sight to be seen.
And that's what I was talking about. They're going forward. When they go forward, they handball. In forward motion, not a sideways or a round and round motion. They're always moving forward, and it's great to see a team do that, especially the young blokes having the courage to take on the play like that.
What I can say, they've gone in the field with 2 kicks to the footballers. Conrad Selfridge then was the captain and Kite. He saw the lead of Carter into the left forward pocket, but missed him and went out of play, so we'll get a ball in.
And that's the second time we've seen the Melton boys not be selfish and go for goal inside the forward 50. I think they need to stop worrying about that, and they need to go back and start kicking these goals.
Obviously, while they're keeping the distance from the leads. Yeah, McPherson Park, always a tough end of the ground to kick goals. King comes in outside with the left foot kick and finds Shea with the mark. The veteran Tyson Shea looks across defensive 50, finds LaFranchi, and we got one breaking on the other side, one still dry, and he's a beautiful kick, so he marks. Brothers further afield than Nick, and he uses him. So Nick still drives, 70 from goal, now called to go. Pulls it into the corridor, was looking for Shea, who didn't really want it. Jeremy between his legs, nutmeg if you like. After that goes O'Leary. LaFranchi get to sit and wait, made it tough. Hickey did well, found Button on the broadcast side and took it over top there to Kite. And he can continue to run, pulls the kick on the way to Carter, and then the break strike, he marks inside 50.
And that's perfect prime example of it. You've got to have clean hands. When you've got clean hands, they're unstoppable, and that's what they've produced so far this quarter, is those clean hands.
Brian Carter, kick two, and then we start this one, the left-hand goalpost, and let it fade back. Not a kick that he's naturally accustomed to. I'd look around a little bit to try to get distance because he's worried about it. The kick over it's pretty good. Doesn't hold its shape, it doesn't. And in the end, it's a minor score. 4-4-28. Leads 4 behinds on BFL game round.
I'm trying to see who it is kicking in.
It's on your butt again. Yep. And a short option, once again down the middle, and the kick was good. Ben Cree, he marks. Could go over the top if he wanted to, but goes wider. Line's still dry.
And this is good on Melton. They're forcing him to go wide and short.
Once again, from the first time going, our brother combination, still dry to still dry.
Here we go. This is starting to become reminiscent with somebody going against Melton, and somebody were taking 8 to 10 kicks to get out of the back line. That's number 6, and they still aren't outside the forward 50, or the back 50.
Culver, go back to Buck, you gave it to him.
There's 7.
Lee of Owen up to meet it. Good spoil by Heaney, but he might chop the arms, unfortunately. Take it the other way of Bacchus Marsh.
That's 9, and they're still in the back 50.
Pulling you out to the broadcast side. Meager had to sit and wait. Now he's jumped on top of it, he's got to be careful. Always laid on top of him and says, you're going, hold the ball, free kick. Now to the man mark off. Off the Kite. And back to Hickey, going unkind bounce. Now has a problem here and sitting on the broadcast side. The ball's going around the plate.
It took them 9 kicks to get out of there, and one big kick, and they're almost at centre half forward for them. But that's what they've got to do. If you want to break Melton down, you've got to kick one out of their back, out of your own back line.
Or got rid of me a bit too easily with the shove apparently, so a free kick going away with the Cobblers and winning round. He's been impressive, being Bacchus Marsh's best.
And I think Kingy got one where you don't want to get one if you're a man.
In other words, the 4-4 position all on the hole. Force movement back, Suter tried to ride the tackle and then goes over the shoulder, so free kick a little Blake. One of 979's very own.
Always comes up and gives a handshake and a smile.
And goes short to Walker, and go back to Borg, the fullback, tucks under the arm and looks for Watkins down the line, might not get there. King gets a left foot kick towards the full forward position. From the side, Kite with the spoil. Freeman kept it in. Panate left it behind. Mawson has the angle on his friend. Gave the hand pass of the Kite and then just walked it over and with the ball in 30 out from goal.
So this is going to be interesting because Meager's staying outside the 50 and they're kicking a bit behind, and Orson doing the ruck work against Robinson.
Robinson trying to get rid of all of the hand on him, but mutually one down for another stoppage. Defensive 50 for the Bloods, attacking 50 for Cobblers, depending on who you support. One down by Markle, Walker, Cotter, who's been superb, off the Kite, off one set, pounds on ball down the line. One on the by Valden with big spoil, brings it over to Meager, goes back to the veteran and Valden, put the arms up straight away with the hand pass to Culver, sets their own one loopy tackler. Measured left foot kick's a good one, sliding in was King, but couldn't hold on. The hero will come out of the fence, Went from McIntyre down the line. Owens got a spoiler and knocks it towards the boundary line. Hickey got there just in time. Kicks it towards half forward, but best position to stop and prop. Assess his options with the kick inboard. German marks on his chest. Plays on as the coach. Flips it over top there towards Steel Drive. Give it back for Tommy German. He's going to be corralled by Capel.
Free kick too high. Yep. The Melton tackle a handle there, just draped his arm over the top, and we know they're calling that these days. Got to be so careful when you're doing that.
German go inside 50. Nice kick and sliding on the second by the cherry. Willits holds on the mark. And then go back, not the first time, tracking Bacchus Marsh's first goal of the afternoon.
And just seen the Carter of the Ryan, Carter laying down on the massage table, getting his legs a quick workover, maybe to get an extra few metres out of it.
So now Willits, with a little bit of breeze behind him, and make this occasion from just inside the paint. Comes in the kick, and it's pretty good off the boot. Former Tony Lockett medalist shows why. Opening goal today for Bacchus Marsh, 1 goal 4-10 trails the Cobras 4-4-28 on BFL over the line.
Would you admit then that that's the second time Willits, even though he's only kicking from about 35, gone very close to the mean of the mark, getting a lot of height on those kicks. Alright, let's say that might be his kicking style, but I don't think we noticed that when he was at Bacchus Marsh the other week. He seemed to be fairly low off. I don't know, maybe something's coming in his game for a bit more accuracy, or only he knows that, I think. Or you better ask him. Maybe he can mate of yours?
Depends on the day. I just want some margin back on the way here. Trying to come through there with Shea. He's up there immediately by. He keep it in the back, and a free kick on the way of the Cobblers. Just only there. Running and going. German now with it. We'll send it inside 50. But Robinson, the back and back was Mawson courageously, almost stole that from his chest, and he wins a free kick in the back. One on Bailey.
And the umpires are seeing it playing it today, especially. We've noticed a lot more in the backs where players are making the play at the ball and the opposition just jumping on top of the back, trying to hold the ball in.
Comes across, Mahiro should mark inside his defensive 50. Tries to draw the man, but elects to kick in the end. And then he, with a big spoil, goes back 15 metres down Walker, underground hand pass. Oh, there's party tricks here. He gets a 1-2 back from Kite. On centre wing, Melton trying to work it towards half forward now with the kick. Backing back by Mark's taken there and dumped.
That was silly on Ryan's behalf. That's a 50 metre didn't need to be happening. He's not that sort of a player, so why do it?
Clears man backing back and just knocks it on unceremoniously by Carter. Goes a measured 15 metres and finds a target there in Culver. Come across the ground and finds Steel Try. Looking towards half forward and found German. He's had plenty of in this turn. Robinson leads early from the full forward. And then pulls into the pocket. Once again, Willet's got separation. Probably should have marked it. Speed free. Borg. Stepped around one and now two would-be tacklers. To Walker. To Mahiro. And he comes across the fence at 50 and finds Watkins at half back. Just stepping out of trouble a little bit too easy. Not made to pay for the mistakes at the minute. Watkins put up the stiff arm, run out of bounds.
Yeah, that was great. That was a young Lachlan there again doing something. That's a 1%er. He's actually caused that to happen. He could have let Watkins run past him with ease, but no, he put his arm out and slowed him up.
We're rolling in half forward. Or just likes to take out the rucks. Had enough of this youngster giving him a bath this afternoon. Owens took the market and played on immediately. We're pounding towards full forward. Robertson almost at the mark. Freedom waiting down. Boots and ball. And a wonderful finish. Back-to-back goals for the Cobblers.
And good back-to-back goal. But he was the man that started that.
Jake Owen again.
He's just, I think, I know that since you said they can just, whoever's near him, but I think they need to play someone on him and stay with him, because that'll be about his 10th touch already, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter.
Wonderful finish there from Joel Freeman. Something out of nothing. There's been a little bit of life back in this one. 12-point ball game here at McPherson Park. And the ruck barrel going all the way with the Cobblers moving with Meager. Winning it down again. Gets boots the ball towards the half forward. Still try having rest up there. Gets the hand pass away towards German. Although, one of them by Suter. Now Kite being injected into the midfield the last few weeks. Showing why with Walker with the hand pass. Looking towards the broadcast side to try to find Borg. Took the mark to Carlborg. Ball skip towards half forward. We saw the option Lucien or he marks. And where he really comes to this game is as long as it goes. And Woodley isn't getting smaller. Short kicks a measured 15 and finds Lockie Walker.
Jimmy Rocky's out there for you, mate.
Yeah. Towards full forward with a kick. Owens got a fist in there towards the ground. Cobber's desperate to hold it up through Plate. Spilled between the tackle. Got one over the shoulder though. Should be more than the free kick and is. Bacchus Marsh can now come to the broadcast side. Nice kick. And the Marsh can continue on. Opportunity here from Freeman towards half forward with the kick. It's a wobbly one. Height on the journey right. He's happy just to walk that one over. We're going to stop it to run a commentary bus position here.
And as I said, it's very noticeable. Jake Owens doing whatever Jake Owens wants to do. I think they need to put someone on him. Otherwise, he could be the difference between them winning and losing.
Freeman had run the ruck, the youngster, and legally going to mark all. And now have an opportunity to give off half back. Got the play on by the umpire, measures the pass. It's a good kick, finds his target. In the hands of Carter of the leading variety. Can wave to play on, Carter. Just pulls the kick towards Clay, close to the boundary line towards Kite. He's unable to mark, off hands, goes out of play. We'll get the ball in between half forward, sitting on the broadcast side for the Bloods. They lead by 12 points on BFL Game of the Round on 979 FM.
And the great thing to see is Bacchus Marsh haven't been blown away. They're actually keeping with Melton and making it a great arm wrestle.
Free kick from the non-official arm, right? Always going to ask for the bench to come be reset. I think that's what he's actually going to do. Give the youngster another chance to get the ball back into the ruckman, evenly and fairly. Back underway. Freeman down there early in the right contest, and umpire said play on. Marsh with some numbers turned over, with a hold. Dispossessed without it, whereas Bacchus Marsh, and now they can use it off centre wing. Come in ball with a kick. It's a nice one, finds still dry. He plays on. The leader, Willets. Phillips on his hammer, got a spoil to ground. Willets kept his feet. Tried to break the Cotter tackle, did once, couldn't do it twice. Stepped over the line, the umpire says he's gone, hold the ball, well done, Geordie Cotter.
And that's great to see the young bloke there. Well, he's not a young bloke anymore, but young fella compared to me, and he just stuck in his task there and kept holding the big bloke up. It's a beautiful tackle, and he's won the team, the ball team.
Definitely stepped on his weight class for a second there, but did a very good job in the second tackle. Mawson, a fullback now has it.
And again, we're watching Bacchus Marsh now allowing Melton to get the ball over their back line as easy as they normally do.
Borg's got a bit of separation and got a nice little ride, took a nice mark. So a really good set of hands. Kicks up things up a little bit, Kite unable to mark, but Hickey at the foot of the pack was good. Gave the hand pass off the Carter, wasn't really watching for that one unfortunately, the ball's too low play. We've got the ball in, 14.5 gone now in the second term. 12 points is the margin, McIntyre and Freeman. Freeman got his hands on this one on this occasion. Watkins ran past it. McIntyre follows up and slides in. Shea collected high, made the umpire blindsided. Ball triggers out of play. Another boundary throw-in.
And Bacchus Marsh are doing this well. They're just contesting the ball, holding the ball up, not giving Melton the option of either runners running free. It's what you've got to do in this Melton side. You've got to tie them up and slow them down.
And the on the way is Hickey, maybe held without it. Neeson slides in, still dry as well. Ball spills through the Walker, tucked him against the boundary line, pulls kick towards the hot spot, and in position A, Kite takes the mark directly in front, 15 from goal.
And I don't think you'll struggle with the distance from this one. We've seen him kick 50-metre goals.
And I don't think he's passing this one off. A much needed goal against the run of play for the Bloods. Coming up, you think?
To the captain.
Sure, no problem. Comes in, pops over the umpire's hat and over the net.
Here's a question for you. A bit of a change of subject. Is is the height of those nets appropriate? Should they be higher?
I would say they were fine, but there's a lot of, I guess, empty spaces like there is here at McPherson Park behind the goals. Ball seems to go on forever where it does actually clear.
It takes off, yeah.
Obviously a massive complex here at McPherson Park and plenty of space to fill. Still a work in progress. We've done a great job so far, and I'm sure we'll continue to get better and better.
It's half time in the North Melbourne versus the Magpies game. Now, I'll give you a chance. What do you want to bet the margin is?
I'll go 5 points.
It's actually 20 points. North Melbourne 52, Collingwood 32. Now, there'll be a lot of Collingwood supporters having I'm going to pick on them, having their memberships ready to go on the market.
McIntyre in like work, wins it down. Hickey, hand pass off, going a little leery with the bouncing ball. Although Owens at the half-back, fumbled at the crucial moment by Hamley, off to Watkins, broke one tackle, runs to 35, pops it through!
And here's that 5-minute burst that we keep talking about. They had this 5-minute burst and they pull away from sides, and they're doing it again.
6 goals, 4-40, they move to leading the Marsh 2-4-16. Split the Cobblers worked so hard to get themselves back in the game, but blink of an eye, the Whites still on a couple of goals to regain ascendancy here at McPherson Park.
I still don't think Aaron Timms could be happy with the way the game's going. Like, they're in front, they're winning by 4 goals, but would you honestly be happy with the way it's going?
Again, I mean, it's the same point we keep talking to, but there's room for improvement. It's not a bad thing on top of the way they're winning games of football. High ball from the Bloods and Carpenter still drive back and back with courage. He marked on his chest. Inboard kick at Shea, who got plenty of attention as he marked. Nothing too untoward, but just a heavy hit.
Big McIntyre using his size to his advantage there.
Towards centre forward he goes. Marked over by Robinson. He plays on. We put Willits in the pocket. The kick's wide, and we'll go out of play. We'll get the ball in. Another games across the competition have scores between Ballarat and East Point. Is the Swans now 5-3-33 leading East Point 4-6-30. Daly 42 leading the Panthers 16. Sunbury 59 over Lakeland Marine. Unfortunately, I still don't have an updated score for quarter time. From Sebastopol and Medellin, it was the Borough by 30 points at the first break there. Back underway, McIntyre with the rack work, wins it down, just starting to get on top there, since Wingman Meagher's gone out of it. Hamley showed good hands in front of Meagher on cue, took the mark, half-back flank. Kicking board was too tall for his attempt to turn it over. King will now pound it towards full forward, one-on contest for Willits, over his head it goes. Mawson had to stood up in the tackle, Pianato was bearing down on him. Umpire's got a decision to make and he says, give it to me, I'll throw it in the air.
And as we said, and we expected, but again, it's a 5-minute burst to get it away for a little bit clearer, and now they're back to the tight tussle again.
McIntyre with his direct ruckman, but the non-officiating umpire 50 metres away from the play to the displeasure of a few Melton players has called out a free kick for the push in the back of Robertson, who now popped one through from 10 metres out on a slight angle, you think. Comes in and does that, and there's a bit of a conversation going on.
And I've got to give credit to the young umpire there. He did call the free kick, it was there, but he's also allowed young Cotter to ask questions instead of just turning around and
McIntyre and Robinson get very familiar with each other. There's a bit of spice coming into this contest.
And instead of turning around and going, right, that's 50 against you for, the dissent thing, that young umpire showing a lot of common sense there, and just let Geordie ask the question. He wasn't being aggressive or anything, it was just a straight out question, and great on the umpire for not getting sucked in and giving away 50, which would have made an already certain goal, a definite 100% certain goal.
McIntyre going up the ground here as well after his indiscretion. 1-1 there by Rex Smash running the Meagher, but it's pounded forward there by the Cobblers. A Frankie position to take the mark at half-back. After the field only get 1 or 2 more before half-time here, the Cobblers will be on a real show in this one. Kicking board's good towards Shea. Towards half-forward, Williams Robinson at the back it goes. Where the crumb is, Kite will get there first from Melton, and a beautiful run by the kick. It was clever, found Heaney, he marks. Lovely kicking board. we'll work out, O'Leary ends up with it eventually. Off the outside of it, we'll work out the favourable lap of Carter. He marks. Could come in board, does so. No, we can now set up from something on the broadcast side. Short one, leading man, taking the mark there is Walker. We'll go to the right of the field towards Carter again. Goes back to Walker by handball. Handball on the top with the 1-2 maybe, but there is Carter sharing around once again on the Bloods. Arguably mucking around with it as it goes inside 50. Calvary getting back. Ryan Carter forcing the defending. Should lock it up inside field 50, but 30 metres out from goal, tucked in the right forward pocket.
And in doing all that, as I said, I'm going to harp on it, and I hate harping on it, but Melton are getting taken to the cleaners on the contested and competitive ball.
Liga, been dominant. He must be Mason when I was a victim inside. King missed his target with a hand pass. Shea, well, ran out of real estate as he tried to step on the loopy tackler, so another ball in.
And it's great to see it's not the usual, Jake Allen, it's not the usuals for Bacchus Marsh keeping them in the game, it's the different names, it's great to see.
Quick kick coming in the fence there by the Bloods, but might come straight back. Diving there was Panate, throwing away to his teammate. Melton applies some good pressure there through Button. They send him inside 50, off hands. By the Bacchus Marsh defence. Kennedy involved. So ball comes out towards the broadcast side. Walker in the foot race with Calvert, just knocked it to his own advantage, but couldn't keep it in the field of play as we're going to ball in. Broadcast side on McPherson Park. We'll go down to rolling, all wins are down. King lapped up, Button stole it. And now the Cobras can work it through steel dryer. Robinson, collected by a couple, well by Suter. With the hand pass found a teammate there in Walker. There's a bit more push and shove and a few high goings from Robinson and now Cotter. Well, they did a bit more meagre, didn't infringe. King will come away with it. Runs his full measure and gives it up there to Culver. Could take a bounce, but wants it low on a long ball. Inside 50, Freeman. Mahino got rid of him. Waiting in there with Willets with the right foot snap. Freeman's in the square, trying to steal the goal. Might still get it. Snaps his second. And Kelps it as he goes down. Oh, he's missed.
He's missed from straight in front.
I thought he must have cleared it from there.
Now it's getting a bit serious. A couple of them going out at Freeman and it looks like Brock Kennedy. Just get out of the way. It's finished. Otherwise you give away a free kick and an easy goal to the opposition.
Cotter plays on full back with the hand pass, we'll get the 1-2. And they come out towards the broadcast side, beautiful kick finds Watkins. And a golden opportunity missed. First of all, Freeman dropping the mark in the square, but then further in the field, missing the goal square. Down Heaney. And they go towards half forward, the Frankie gets across. Knocks it towards the boundary line and sees that play. We're going to ball in, defensive side of centre wing for the Cobras, who 35-23 trails Melton 6-4-40 on BFL game of the round. Back underway. Off hands towards the broadcast side centre wing. Watkins circling, couldn't quite gather. He tackle applied and another stoppage here. Now player says give it to me at the 26.5 minute mark.
Suter, last one to get up with the ball as per usual.
Once again, well done by Vivian Meager. It's been really good this afternoon, I have to say. Mawson comes away with it, spearing pass towards half forward. Hanley off to Hickey. We go inside 50 with the wobbling ball. Tough one to deal with. Bacchus Marsh can go out through the corridor. Nice kick finds Panate. Can they find the final blow in this turn? Jack Panate with it. Comes towards the broadcast side. Beautiful kick to find his target. Porter just have to sit there and wait. And now playing on. Pulls the trigger inside 50. Robinson at the back. It's going to be a separation. Brings it to the ground. Tries to fight with his good work. Got the hand pass off towards a teammate. We've wrapped up immediately by Walker. We'll get a stoppage. We're on BFL going around. It's Panate won the bottom of the pack. And we're good to go once again. Or kick forward by Leary. right, put the stiff arm out, got away just in time. Right on there to Mawson. Right towards the outside. Ball turns on the afterburners with one bounce. Continue that second kick high ball. It might be going all the way, but it's slipped over. And Roland gets lucky, and then the Cobblers go the other way. Nice pass by the inside. The Mark taking all that shade. Once again, another opportunity for them to land a blow. Inboard finds Steel Dryer. He plays on. Finds his target in Riley. And he goes short there to Tyson Shea.
He's been very productive today, Shea, off the half-back flank.
And inboard kicks a good one. The Cobblers, an opportunity to go towards full forward once again. One-on-ones everywhere inside 50. All trying to get back to a bit of height to hold things up in the late stages of this turn. Into the pocket, redirected. Suter just clears with a pumping kick towards the other side. A nice Mark Hamley floating from the side. Still trying, maybe should have got the spoil on that occasion. Hamley comes across the Kite. Wants to continue to switch on to find Walker. Defensive side of the square to Kennedy. And the round pass off there is good towards Hamley. Inside 50 he goes with a kick, but Owen backing back takes the mark. Bit of cat and mouse movement from both these sides with the loose man in defence. Culver across the row, Steel Dryer to German. Over the top there finds Shea. The foot candy was good, as the sign's going to beat them by the Cobblers. A better output from them with the Blues in that term, I think, Sam, but couldn't make it count on the scoreboard. They moved to 3-5-23 at the half-time by trailing Melton 6-4-40. So we'll repeat that 6-4-40 leading 3-5-23. And Sav, our goalkeepers, please.
We've got Ryan Carter still with the two that he got in the first quarter. Brady Coit one. Watkins, sorry, with one. Kennedy one, Daniel O'Leary one. But in that quarter, we actually got the Cobblers on the scoreboard with the goals with Robinson, Willits, and I think it was Freeman with their third goal.
And Freeman, of course, dropping one in the square and missing from about 5 metres out to get what we're going to much need a momentum booster going into the half-time break.
He kicks that and it's 4-4 to 6-4 and it's 2 goals. At the moment, it's 17 points instead of 12 points. It's not much of a difference, but it could make much of a difference at the end of the day.
And coming against the next second half team, with one defeated side in 2022 in Melton. Still in stride in distance of the Cobblers, but they're going to need just a little bit of things to go their way. It looks like Tim's actually having a conversation with the umpires here as well in front of us, so we'll keep a close eye on that one.
And there's a few smiles all around there, and that's great to see.
Some new questions, and they might do that free kick that was paid and result in the goal to Robinson in the late stages of the season. Let's have a tell them in the studio, everything update what's going on across other leagues, and of course this competition back in about 10 minutes or so for the second half between Melton and Bacchus Marsh. This is the VFL Game Round on 979 FM.
We're busy young parents,
And we care about the food our family eats.
so we always use the organic place for our weekly shop.
They are certified organic fruit, vegetables, bread, meat, eggs and dairy, and they deliver.
It's so easy to order. Go online to www.theorganicplace.com.au. Log in, select the menu, pay, and the Organic Place does the rest.
Place your order now.
The Organic Place is a sponsor of 979 FM. The Venture Melton Business Network is here to help your business. As a network member, we get free access to 4 networking events each year, discounts to business events and training, and opportunities to promote your business. With 300 existing members, take your business to the next level by building connections and learning from others who understand what it is like to own and run a business. To join, visit the Melton Council website and search for Business Network. The City of Melton is a sponsor of 979 FM.
Do you often gamble until your last dollar is gone? Have you ever gambled to escape worry, trouble, boredom, or loneliness? Many thousands of people throughout Australia who have created problems due to excessive gambling have found the strength to cope by joining Gamblers Anonymous. If gambling is destroying you or someone you care about, you're welcome to attend. For your local Gamblers Anonymous meeting, call
0425 870 468 or the head office on 9696 6108.
979 FM follows the Community Broadcasting Codes of Practice set out by the Australian Communication Media Authority. You can read these guidelines at www.acma.gov.au. If you hear anything on this station you think breaches these guidelines, write to 979 FM at PO Box 979, Melton, Victoria 3337. If you are dissatisfied with the response or the station has not answered your complaint within 60 days, send your complaint to the Australian Communications and Media Authority, PO Box Q 500, Queen Victoria Building, Sydney, New South Wales 1230.
Rock on!
979 FM, the little station with the big sound.
VFL Game of the Round on Facebook at facebook.com/VFL Game of the Round. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ballarat Leagues Club, the Ballarat Football League's own licensed club that proudly supports country football and netball. The Ballarat Leagues Club, 52 Humphrey Street North, is a proud sponsor of VFL Game of the Round.
Express 0979 FM, you're listening to BFL Game of the Round, and at half-time in our broadcast game sees Melton 6 goals 440, leading Bacchus Marsh 3-5-23. In the other games, East Point just in front of Ballarat 5-9-39 to 5-3-33. Darley 7-7-49, leading Melton South 5-5-35, and Blackburn Barrie 6 goals 2-38, trailing Sunbury 11-7-73. Don't have any scores from Redan versus Sebastopol. Obviously Sam's getting it for his friends at the game. In the AFL, 11 minutes into the third quarter sees Collingwood 8 goals 250, just behind North Melbourne 10 goals 565. And in the Riddle League, Woodin Heskett 3 goals 725, trailing Macedon 8-9-57. Riddle 5-5-35, leading Diggers West 4 goals 327. And Melton Central's 10 goals 565, leading Mansfield 3-4-22. Don't have scores still from the Western Rams versus Wallen. And in the VFL, earlier today, Collingwood 9 goals 1266, defeating North Melbourne 7-6-48. Gold Coast 12 goals 880, defeating Frankston by just a few points, 10 goals 16-76. And Box Hill 8 goals 11-59, they lost to Southport Sharks 10-14-74. And half-time in the game currently underway sees Werribee 9-9-63, they are leading Coburg 2-3-15. Port Melbourne take on Carlton tonight just after 7 o'clock. So let's look around the various leagues. Here on BFL Game of the Round, again our half-time score sees Melton 6-4-40, leading Bacchus Marsh 3-5-23. Let's hear some more music now. We just heard from Dan Salzman with Kimberley Calling. Let's hear from Scott Barlow featuring Shane Howard with his cover of Solid Rock, originally by Shane's band Goanna.
Talking about a chosen place. not to be. It's a smoke alarm. And if you hear it, you may be terrified. That's okay. The adrenaline will wake you as you recall your escape plan. You do have an escape plan, don't you? Plan to survive. Install smoke alarms and make sure your family rehearses an escape drill. Identify a safety message from the Metropolitan Fire Brigade.
Breaking news! Explosions Bar and Bowl is now open. Explosions Bar and Bowl is located at 125 Bacchus Square. It has 10 lanes for 10 pin bowling, 50 arcade games, a pool room, function facilities for all your party requirements for both kids and adults, a full functional bar together with a kitchen that will look after your appetite. Explosions Bar and Bowl is open every day from 10 a.m. to 8. Proud sponsor of 979 FM. Become a member or subscriber of 979 FM and support the community radio station you are listening to. 979 FM has competitive rates of memberships and subscriptions. So inquire now by phoning 9747-0450 during business hours. Become a part of 979 FM today. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ballarat Leagues Club, the Ballarat Football League's own licensed club that proudly supports country football and netball. The Ballarat Leagues Club, 52 Humphrey Street North, is a proud sponsor of BFL Game of the Round. Progressive schools and to keep up to date with news from the BFL and country football, follow BFL Game of the Round on Facebook at facebook.com/BFL Game of the Round. It's the BFL Game of the Round on 979 FM. At half-time in our broadcast game, Melton 6 goals 440 leading Bacchus Marsh 3 goals 523. In the other games, East Point 39 leading Ballarat 33. Darley 49 leading Melton South 35. And Sunday 73 leading Lake Windermere 38. We don't have scores from Medan versus Sebastopol, but I'm sure Sam's probably got them. And in the AFL late in the third quarter sees Collingwood 51 trailing North Melbourne 79. Let's now cross back to McPherson Park for the third quarter.
And welcome back to the match of the day there here at McPherson's Park between the Melton Bloods and the Bacchus Marsh Cobblers as Sammy finishes whipping down the biscuit as quick as he can. I reckon that was all in 2 seconds. One bite and she was all over the golden cobbler, boys. That was not good timing at all. I thought I was ready. Turns out I wasn't. No, but when we go here like the second half, players made their way out onto the ground once again in positions. From here, I mean, it's hard to go against the Bloods leading any inside half-time break. But the Cobblers showed signs that they can get back into the contest, but just unable to make it matter most. On the scoreboard, 3 goals 5, with a true reflection of the issues, I guess, with under big sticks. And especially when you've got a break missing from, say 5 metres out, directly in front. Yes, it was a quick snap over the shoulder, but still should be gettable at senior level. The other issue that they've got is Melton did it again. A 5-minute period, 3 goals, and they shut a side down. So, you know, there's 3 goals down here instead of, they could have been only 2, but instead they're 3 goals down. It's a big margin. Everyone knows this is the quarter where Melton tend to blow sides away. Yeah, the Bremerview quarter, and that's why the great favourites so far in season 2022. This is where they're going to put signs away like they did a couple weeks ago on this program, exactly against the Redan Football Club. Will be a repeat of doses here. We'll find out as we already have the second half between the Melton Football Club and Bacchus Marsh Live and BFL Game of the Round and 979 FM. We're home with the Ballarat Football Netball League, all in the luck once again for the Bloods, but one goes straight to O'Leary. He bounces it towards centre half forward. Brought down the tackle there by was on one King coming through. He kicks up and under kick, one paid the mark to Owen. Kick was smothered. That was there maybe for the little fellas inside 50 for the Bloods. Still dry. Shoved it in a hand pass to a teammate there in Neeson. Going nowhere for Bacchus Marsh. In the stoppage, 50 out from goal. Jake Owens is going back and Heaney's going back with him. But Heaney needs, I know it's in there for one, but Heaney needs to stay with him. Over the top again once again by Meager, did so well. King out into the pocket trying to find a teammate Porter. Tried to take him on, we brought around the tackle. Appears a free kick for both sides not going. Kick towards full forward, Belden, big spoiler at the top, season 3 for a minor score.
6 by 41 lead, 3 at 5:23 here at McPherson Park, below the Bloods.
The tackle on Porter was definitely something new in the WWE playbook.
As well, but to bring her back in as he has all afternoon. Kicks towards the outside. Trying to take a mark on top of a shade, unlikely fly. Falls up the tackle and was put to the ground there by Kennedy. Just outside 50 for Melton. Looking to get the perfect start. Over top once again, Meager wins it down. And Shea brings it forward. Bit of holding going on. Free kick to go away of the Cobblers, the way of Robson. Robinson looks up, sends it inside 50. Had to wait a long time for players to get back, and in the end, Suter took a mark on his chest and played on. Short one inboard, finds Hanley. Called to go now, flips out wide, finds the target there in Suter. Will continue to run. Goes for Carter at full forward, but took front position, could take the mark. On back there, it was Porter, wrapped up by Carter, and a stoppage about 35 metres out from goal.
Suter did very well there with that quick chip kick, but could have probably run on another 20 metres. No one around him. Mate, take the game on. It seems that what Melton have lacked today is just to take that game on like they normally would.
Meager down to King, and King goes towards the other side. Suter has humped on his hammer and does well to hand pass to find Cotter. Probably best on ground in the opening half, and nice one-handed mark on the outside taken there by Borg.
Can you ask me a question? Is that the first time Suter's actually stood someone shorter than him?
Yeah, but obviously you get to say that. As Borg took on the loopy tackler towards full forward, Carter and able to mark in the goal square, but on hands and knees trying to get back towards Belden. And yeah, I think a stoppage about 5 metres out and tip the goal square will be the result. At the 3-minute mark on the third term. And a quick snap on the rack in might be the operation for the Bloods. Carter doing the rack work. Slaps it down to O'Leary. A bit of holding going on. Free kicks in the way of Bacchus Marsh though. The big man and Spencer Meager. That's a name to remember in the Ballarat Football League.
So if you'll be here for long over years, you want to get in and see him.
Owens in front of Heaney. He's going to pay the mark fortuitously. Probably didn't have it controlled for the full 3 seconds, but long enough for the umpire. Going to the line real estate off them, they win by time off that one. Long kick towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Well, I mean by King in the full of the pack, but a throw. Picked up by the umpire in position A, free kick away of the Bloods. Good justice maybe. Button with it. That was the thing about time. Pulls it inside 50 with a kick. And for Carter, yes!
And that's the first time Liam has actually got a bit of separation in his opposition here. He's taken a strong chest mark. He's going to go back. He's probably 30-35 there. He's given the toss of the glass, Matthew Ward style. It went nowhere. And just like Ward, he did that inside Etihad Stadium that time with the roof closed. And he should slightly through quite nicely and he just aims it towards the middle of the goals.
Carter to come in. Kick it on its way. Squeezes it in. Perfect start for the Bloods. Just what they wanted to create a little bit of separation on the scoreboard for them. Liam's first goal of the day. Melton's 7th. And their 6th individual goal kicker. 7 goals, 47 leads, 3 goals, 23 here on BFL going round.
Now we talk about this, it's nearly 5 minutes in this quarter. We know Melton normally blow sides away in this quarter, but they've really normally started by now. This time they haven't hit it straight away. Bacchus are doing very well. I know they're not well within the comp, they're still in the competition, but they are holding Melton up.
Showing their defensive pillars are likely types and can hold and sustain some pressure as we approach finals footy in the Ballarat Football League. There's big tackles applied there by the big fella and Meager. They found someone in the ruck there. He's been superb. Going to ruck once again here with Orr, who wins this one down as it just wrapped him up. With Watkins, we got a centre half forward with a kick. Carter up to meet it. Heaney bowling through with the hand pass. Off there towards Hickey, up against the boundary line, tried to be a step around the body and then just scraped through for a mile score. Maybe should have thought it would be a drop punt action or the other way, but it wouldn't have no action on the way. Really tough, I know.
He would have had to been very interesting if he had tried that one, mate, because it would have had to been a late curler.
But we'll make it a bit of a play. As meant short, but wants to come towards the broadcast side of the high ball. Owens is the intended target. Benji's in front of the ground, and I'm sure for Eastmere to go back towards where Frankie kicks off the outside of the group, and it's gone out in the full. Maybe never touchdown, I think.
Well, with Frankie after he kicked it, told you everything about even looking at the ball. He's got to go wrong, mate. He's got to go wrong.
Set up to the tall timber, maybe. Carter's going to afford a beat, and then in the end, Jake Owens too good to beat. As German, by hand off the still drive from centre half back. The Cobblers go. If you think about second bounce, he's run a long way, and in the end, he's ran too far. Free kick. Away the Bloods. Hickey, off to Manito. Zell's a little foot candy. Runs his full measure. Inside 50. Look at Liam Carter. Too strong and too good for Dan Belden on that occasion. He marks. Here go the Bloods. We're live from 25 and the exact same angle. He just shot for goal successfully.
And that just shows you that the runner, Martin. There, as soon as they got the ball, the back line were already flowing past to get the ball and run it through. You had Mojito, you had Wilson, you had them all. And that's the difference between this Melton side and a lot of the other sides in the BFL. How quickly on the turnover do they start to run.
And if Ryan can't get you, the old saying goes, Liam will, and Liam does.
And it's on behind play between Ryan and I think number 26, Cree for Bacchus Marsh will put us through shove and jumper pulling and main calling. Well, we can only assume. We can't hear it. Between them all, I think Cree might have done these second best in his family after the last couple of goals to lead. He might have. Well, have liked it.
We might say a little bit. Look at leading goalkeeper this year. 8 goals, 6, 54 leads, 3 goals by half 23. Couple of back-to-back goals in this term to Liam Carter. As kicked away the Bloods further in this contest here at McPherson Park. Once again, Ringman Meager, superb in the ruck, but not anyone in particular, Karate doing the tackling here on Hickey. I thought it was right for a very long time. Eventually it spills out. O'Leary trying to manufacture hand pass, only went as far as still drive though. He would pound a long one inside 50, high ball, tough one to mark. Ball spills free. Of course, the Cobblers start to key goal key towards this Northern end in the opening term. German, left foot kick towards the top of the goal square. Work out by hand, running as far as Mawson, but who intercepts Borg. Got one off his chest, well picked up there by Hickey. Hanley, he's been terrific. Got us on the foot Candy. Got it away towards Mawson. Handy by Meager. Off towards Still Drive. He goes towards the hot spot. Big fly there by Robinson. Couldn't take the mark. Mahino staying down. Hand pass works out. And now the Bloods go towards the other side. Walker with it. Looks inboard with the kick. O'Leary. Best game in Bloods colour. Looking to go back towards Walker. Looks towards centre half forward. Had an option. Watkins, which he liked. Owen tried to intercept. Watkins runs onto it. The kick his second goal of the game. And he makes no mistake. And again, Cree involved and a bit of push and shove.
It's not a good look, especially when your side's losing the way they are. And we've got to, enough with it. Like, flying the colours is flying the colours, but when you're starting to lose by 6, 7 goals, you're flying the colours for the wrong reasons, especially when you're the guy doing the aggressive stuff.
That's exactly what we talked about in the lead up to this term. When Melton flicked that switch again, and just piling the goals, and that's what we've done so far. 3 unanswered after 10 minutes of football. One-way traffic once again at McPherson Park. Doing it on their terms. The Bloodhood dominate here at the minute. And they're on the way again with Orr, doing better with Meager. Coming in with Watkins. Borg, little dance step. Superb off the Hickey. He'll go towards half forward with the wobbly one. Haney, go unkind dance. As well as play. Right, she was off the foot and trying to claim the free kick card out before you get it. Goes to the lead of Kite. Oh, and getting in the hole, just intercepts in front of him.
And it just shows, Olin, if no one's playing on him, he's probably just about the best intercept mark in this competition. That's going to be probably about the 10th one he's intercepted today.
Joe Young way to play on. High ball towards the centre wing. Or Wardo just stood in front and took a lovely grab.
As Barry Egg said, the young fella should have gone to punch and tried to punch the ball, not try to outmark the bigger, young, older, more experienced football in front of him.
Off to Watkins went off. Hickey, back to Watkins, back to the other Hickey. Good on back to Watkins and Ryan, so he pulled the kick towards the top of the goal square instead. Sliding in though, on hands and knees, nice mark taking defence there by Calver, and then towards the other side. Still dry, stands underneath this one. Kite, a 41 off to not infringe, but the umpire said he just got a little touch on him and impeded him for some front on contact. Still dry's now called to go. High ball down the line, Cotter, who just takes the instant marks for fun himself. Pose does that one on the attacking side, centre wing on the other side. Pretty much reached the option of broadcast position, finds Walker, plays on towards full forward, and from Carter with a big spell coming across there from Owens. Kite, the majority variety, gets it off there towards Carter, back towards Button. Panate gets in there, applies some pressure, and nice tackles applied there on Hanley to lock things up 45 from goal. On BFL game ground on 979 FM. Carter out of back there was moved and his kick was smothered. Off the neck went Shea, clever. Down still drive, sweeping ball to King. Left foot kick towards centre wings to really no one in particular, all on a paddock of space. Picks it up, up towards Walker. He'll play on. Pound the long one inside 50. Carter at full stretch and at full express. Took a lovely mark on the second by the cherry, 50 from goal. Doesn't have the distance in him. Wants to pull up the kick to Kite. And he shows his strong hands and he marks directly in front, 40 from goal.
And not to be Melton-centric there, but the umpire helped him out by calling the mark about 5 metres closer to goal than where he actually took the mark. But then again, it just showed Melton have more than one option in the forward line and they know how to use it.
Double up the ring card in this turn. One to Watkins and one to Kite. He can kick it from directly in front. Gets close to me in the mark. Normally dead eye dick. Shows it again as the captain. The second of the afternoon. It's all Melton here at McPherson Park. Game over, I would have thought, already as we approach three-quarter time. 10 goals, 666 leads, 3-5-23. And the captain has said Wayne Kite, second one of the afternoon. Not his biggest day by his illustrious stands, but still being involved, along with 21 other teammates who can hold their head high. What Aaron Timms is once again that question mark is like, who would you bring out for a theory for Jack Walker at the minute? I mean, they've just got such a good squad depth into the Bloods.
And the kids to come through as well, they're in the lower grades.
Lucky towards half forward came there from German. Walker will get across first though, just slides to his own advantage and in the end just cleverly disguised it towards the boundary line as legally as you like and knocked it out of play.
And again, it's happened in the third quarter. What was Melton up? 17 points?
Yep.
And look at that, now 7 goals.
Yep.
It's just what they do, and they do it so well.
Just very professional union and done in a blink of an eye in the premiership quarter, and that's what they want to try to win this year in the Ballarat football, not the league, is another premiership. And they're running out the right way. The Cobblers sitting inside 50. King applying pressure to lock things up. We'll get the ball up about 45 from goal. You're on BFL game around.
I don't think there'd be many areas where the Cobblers will be winning in the stats today, but the one I would believe would be Meager in the ruck.
Good kick defence there from McIntyre off hands. Hickey been able to mark. He'd be able to sock it out of the deck and not infringe. The Frankie just decides to slap it back. Shea maybe without it. Should be rewarded with a free kick. Umpire's going to pull it back towards the veteran. Nice and Shea. From the still dry. There are plenty of it marks. Of course, VFL listed at North Melbourne these days. And the inclusion whenever it is available. Leading Robinson, couldn't find him. Coming across the face of goal, with defensive goal was Suda. Show a lot of the kick, and umpire's not going to pay the mark to Porter. Well, he could have got one high, could have got one really set mark. Umpire says no, he'll get the ball in. The disbelief, I guess, here in the commentary bus is very well shown, I think.
said we were a fair way away.
I would agree with the umpire there. I would have called play on because it looked like the Melton player had his hands on it first.
On the way here, Cobber's trying to create inside 50. Again, small stoppages. Defence holding up for Melton as it has all year in season 2022. As we have blood rule, so we'll have to wait for the Bacchus Marsh player. There's Riley Walker on the ground.
Looks like Riley Walker.
With clout, maybe. Just needs to get fixed up and then we'll get proceedings back underway here on BFL Going Around on 979 FM.
It's actually the Bacchus Marsh player. If you can turn around, we'll see who he is.
It is, sorry, I did say it earlier, 38. No, Freeman. That's it, he's changed his number, that's why I didn't recognise who it was.
Towards center wing, trying to do with Carter, off hands. The Bloods can work this forward through Borg, side the foot Kenny Lovely, and runs out trusty right hand side. Good kick inboard, finds Walker. Kennedy stops and props and gives up to O'Leary. Inside 50, here he goes, just at the feet of his intended target, and Ryan Carter still trying to get him back in defence and be locked up in the tackle. And another stoppage, this time a traditional centre half forward. BFL Going Around 979 FM. 0.3 points to margin here. McIntyre this time gets a fingertip on it. German on the back, right by O'Leary. A stoppage.
And there's been quite a few of these, and not used to so many stoppages because they get that free-flowing game going, but the stoppages are hard to get.
Kicking. Inside 50 with a kick. Towards Heaney, just slapped to his own advantage. Fortunately bounced back to him. Left foot snap will go right to the top of the goal square. We got the Carter brothers battling over it. Almost the mark for Liam. The snap was superb. Goes across the face for my score.
And how is those twin towers, mate? They just seem to find the ball for big breaks off the ground very easily.
Short kick from right out of the defensive line, Steve Ryan. Riley pulls it. Right his day. Mark taking it by Shea.
One of his better games in a while.
He goes towards the other side, but on cue comes those girls. Coughed it up. Cotter. They'll take the intercept mark, but not the first time this afternoon. Geordie Cotter. Wait to go. Adapt either side, but wants to pound it inside 50 with the right foot kick. Jake Owen though. Best position. Took the grab. Plays on. And full back. Just pounds it where it came from. Big fly at the top.
Is that? No, it's not Mega. It did look like him when he went up.
Big fly was up there from the Marsh and
Parente.
Yeah, Parente, big fly. Towards the other side. Off hands. McIntyre missed it. Hanley. Phillips. Suter. Kennedy. High ball down the line. And nice marks taken by Hanley. You can go inboard. Scrubby kick. Might work out to O'Leary. Kite.
They just run.
Everyone getting involved and everyone getting a touch. As Suter goes inside 50. Carter couldn't bring it down the second bite of the cherry. But desperate with the hand pass. Carter follows up the contest. Cree getting back in defence. Finds Owens. Now come across defensive 50 and find a teammate. Mark's taking in defence there by Eastman. Standing firm and assessing his options. High ball out of defence for the Cobblers. Cotter in front. Took the mark again.
And I think that is what's hurting Bacchus Marsh.
This slow, methodic coming out of the back line is giving Melton much too much time to set up.
Switch of play from Kennedy. Comes in towards the broadcast side of Borg. Isn't able to continue to run on, but
there is no one set further than the centre square circle for Melton.
Good statement
behind it.
Statement in 50 on that occasion, just too easy for Owen to pick it off. Still dry. Nice ball coming in towards the broadcast side and finds Porter. Little way to go. Off hands, Robinson from mark. German tried a little underhand kick. Worked it to the big man there, Amiga. Got boots the ball. Towards half forward here is Willits. There's no one back at home. Just pouncing towards a vacant 50. Getting back though, guess who? Geordie Cotter again. Makes another intercept mark. Goes short and finds Kite. Goes back to Cotter at full-back. Happy to wax it between them and go towards the outside. Cotter takes a bounce. Finds his target. It's a little bit too easy for Carter. That's Liam to Ryan. He marks. Centre wing on the other side, but opposite of that broadcast position. Go back to his brother. And go back towards Cotter.
Yeah, this is waxing, and this is cheap and easy free kicks. Easy kicks, not free kicks, but easy kicks. And the thing is these are the ones that come undone. It's like they're already playing to win the game. They've won the game. They're playing to hold on to the ball. It's the third quarter. Come on, guys, attack.
We're on towards centre wing, and now Mawson's got it. So on one side and the other, with seven or eight possessions around the circle. Now with Bailey Mawson. He's really going to pound this in line because Owen's in best position. Fortuitously spawning right there, really. Must have got a fingertip on it, was Owen, as we were a stoppage. Just the attacking side of centre wing and broadcast side.
It's becoming a dour affair here, and not making it very pretty football, but it is what it is, and we're blessed to see what we can see, because last 2 years we haven't seen much football at all.
Borg, Socrates advantage, and Leo had a couple to beat. He wanted to try to get the hand pass away, but running out of real estate as well. Get a ball in. Or a ball up, depending on what your choice is. McIntyre. And as far as Stu drived for the 1-2. Gets it back now. Nowhere to go. Coughed up towards Brett McIntyre. Sends it inside 50. Bouncing ball for Carter. LaFranchi. Gets across and finds a target. Now Porter takes the mark. And then on the broadcast side they want to go that way, but to continue to run on was LaFranchi to mark. Played 23 minutes now in the third term. His kick's an ugly one, they'll work out. Sliding in is Mason. BFL game of the round on 979 FM. 44-point margin. Down the line, and guess who's in the hole? Trying to cover with the intercept.
Is this got to be one of the most intercept mark games you've ever seen between Cotter and Owen?
Yep, it's pretty just...
If it's not Owen down the back smash end, it's Cotter down the Melton end. And I reckon both of them are probably taking 10 to 15 marks each. I reckon most of them will be intercept marks.
Right, kicks pounding for the back smash and cut off by Melton. Kennedy looks towards half forward, but the kicks a ball one. Freeman will take the mark. Can now come out towards the broadcast side. Coverage is going to be a bit more daring in the field as they continue to go down the line, and Robinson couldn't mark, Mahito on the sides did enough to infringe. Hand pass off the ball, back to Mahito. Pulls the kick shorter, but turned it over to LaFranchi. Now off to Freeman. Goes inside 50 with a kick.
And Melton players all spoil each other.
Mawson though comes away with it. Just too easy for the Bloods, and they look towards the outside, go, I can try to complete a switch to Hickey. Now Watkins, Kite, caught behind, went early, trying to get rid of Owen. Got a couple to beat, bounced up like a cat, copped up the hand pass to Porter. He goes towards full back, finds LaFranchi. Goes back to where it came from, finds Jake Owen. Goes for a run, takes one bounce and pulls kick into a nice pass, finds Mason. Towards the other side with a kick, Willits go rid of Mawson early. Now an opportunity for Willits from 48. Lines up towards the goal, top left square. Robinson unable to mark. Wrapped up by a player. We take a line umpire circles. It says hold the ball. Free kick. Free kick on the way of Melton. It has to be said, it's been a very interesting 5-10 minutes here, you have to say, at McPherson Park.
They've gone, they had that big blow up for the first 5-10 minutes of this quarter and got the gap, and then it's gone back to sleep. And this is what we're talking about with Melton. They can't do it, they need to start putting their foot down and really beating sides by bigger margins than what they're doing.
Considering the dominance they've had. With all the hand pass. Off going towards Watkins. Half forward here with Carter. Dispossesses, Owen comes in, just try to hand pass over the shoulder and create something for his side. Carter knocks it to his own advantage. Hand pass goes inside 50, now looking for Hickey. copped up towards Carter. Right foot snap. It's going to be all about the bounce. Has to be pretty kind from there. Doesn't get the nice break. And it trickles through for a nice score. It's been a hour 13 minutes now since the last goal.
And it's definitely not one side over the other.
It's just both sides have just gone back into their show. They're not attacking. They're not playing the free-flowing football both sides are known for.
Also Frankie gets it at full back and handles over the top. Nice kick by Eastman, will find Stool Dryer. Comes out towards the broadcast side. King at full extension, holds on nicely. As the signs sounds here for three-quarter time on BFL game of the round is Melton 10 goals, 868, leading Bacchus Marsh 3-5-23. I think he failed to even score on that term, Sav, if I'm correct in saying.
Bacchus Marsh, I don't think they even scored a point.
So no goals this afternoon to that top end at all for them. And not scoring the third one there. So before we go back to rerun the studio, the goal kickers, please.
Well, we've definitely got Braden Kite, Lockie Watkins, and both Carters on two. We've got, there's two singles, we wouldn't say that often, but Brock Kennedy and Daniel O'Leary with his first. Then the same as before, Robinson, Willits, and Freeman with the 3 for Bacchus Marsh.
Putting a final break here on BFL game of the round. We're back for the final turn between Melton and Bacchus Marsh here live on 979 FM.
At Monty's Kitchen Cabinets, we are a husband and wife team. We excel in bringing stylish cabinets to your home, office and workplace. Our elegant designs are made to measure and suit your practical needs and style. For your free, no-obligation quote, call Stephen on 0413 958 352 today. Winners of the 2017 and 2018 Venture Business Melbourne Excellence Awards. Monty's Kitchen Cabinets, proud sponsors of 979 FM.
I lived with a problem of alcohol for many years. I felt sick with anxiety, frustration and hopelessness. My one lifeline in desperation. They gave me Al-Anon contacts, and now I am finding my life again. If you are troubled by someone's drinking, please come to an Al-Anon meeting. Melton, Friday nights, 7 p.m. Ring 9642 3330 or 1300 252 666.
The best things from the 80s and 90s. Listen to the best thing 5 to 6 Saturdays. Everything from Madonna to Ace of Base. The best thing on the West Best Stereo 979 FM.
They have the internet on computers now. If you'd like to contact your local radio station, 979 FM, email info@979fm.com.au or by visiting www.979fm.com.au and clicking on the Contact Us link. For snail mail, send your inquiry to PO Box 979, Melton, Victoria 3337.
979 FM, keeping the western suburbs informed.
This broadcast is brought to you by the Ballarat Leagues Club, the Ballarat Football League's own licensed club that proudly supports country football and netball. The Ballarat Leagues Club, 52 Humphrey Street North, is a proud sponsor of BFL Game of the Round. Progressive scores and to keep up to date with news from the BFL and country football, follow BFL Game of the Round on Facebook at facebook.com/BFL Game of the Round.
You're listening to BFL Game of the Round on 979 FM, and at three-quarter time in our broadcast game, Melton 767 leading Bacchus Marsh 3-5-23. In the other games, Ballarat 9-4-58. They are leading East Point 5-11-41. Daly 9 goals 9-63. They are leading Melton South 6 goals 10-46. And Lakeland Lurie 8 goals 4-52, trailing Sunday 13 goals 7-85. As always, no scores from Redan versus Sebastopol. In the AFL, 23 minutes into the final quarter, it's very close. Collingwood, 12 goals, 981 to North Melbourne, 12 goals, 880. And in the VFL, Werribee, 13 goals, 16, 94, well in control of Coburg, 4-4, 28. That's just at the start of the final quarter. So let's look around the various leagues. Let's now cross back to the guys at McPherson Park for the final quarter.
Thank you very much, Leroy. Back here for the final turn on BFL Game of the Round on 979 FM. Our match of the round this afternoon has been Melton playing Bacchus Marsh, and the three-quarters scores are 10-8, 68. The Bloods winning the Cobras 3-5-23. And for our listeners that care, I'll be able to keep us up to date with scores from the Sebastopol Redeeming game, with a few connections in there. The Borough doing comfortably 6-6, leading within 17. That must mean clash between those two sides.
Well, it just states like what you said earlier, the comp is so even this year, you wouldn't know which way to go, but Sebastopol obviously wanted a bit more, and they're doing something about it. Now, you look at this game out here, Melton kicked 4 quick goals, would say, in about the first 10 minutes, and then went to sleep. We talk about it week in, week out, how they do that, but they don't put sides away. Now, it's unlikely they don't kick 3 goals for the entire game. You can't see them coming home kicking 7 goals and not kick anything. Yeah, but it's that sniff, that bit of chance that people get, and one day a side will do it. And Melton won't have the answer because the roll-on will start and they won't be able to stop it because they're not used to that. It happened with Dan a couple of weeks back, and they managed to find a way to get over the line. I don't think you can only ride your luck so much.
Well, usually just having a look at the side line up this final turn, I can see that looks like Liam Carter's going across the centre half back, and Jake Owen's going forward,
and I think
the Cobblers, and just a few magnets being flicked, and I mean, safe to say, I think it's a bit too late if you're Tommy Jr., if you're for Jake. I mean, you know, he's been terrific in defence, but
now let's see what happens to their defence with Jake up at centre-half forward instead of centre-half back.
I really like that he's gone with him going forward and moved Shallows up. No, it's Carter, you go down there with him. Of course, played some VFL footy for years down in defence. So at one point in time,
not for him at all.
We've got the final turn on the way here, VFL going around, and the Bloods comfortably over the back of Marsh at the minute. Big man Mead has been superb in these hands now first, but King, the beneficiary, was going nowhere. So a secondary ball up to start the final turn here at McPherson Park. Mason again, this time with a double tap down to King and just rinse and repeat. Another stop, which a traditional 9-7-9-30 ball up.
And Mead has been absolutely fantastic for the Cobblers today. He's just won another tap. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he's winning more taps than anyone else.
As King took him on and couldn't get beat the ball, hold the ball, free kick all the way of Walker. As Iggy breaking on the broadcast side, and that's where he goes with the kick. This is the Jacob Brown. He goes to traditional centre back, the Suter. Pulls the kick in ball. The hero takes it off. Draws it in over the top. Finds Kennedy. Sends it inside 50. Kite went really early. Didn't get a hand on it. Balls in the sweep inside 50 for Melton. And then the Cobblers are to lock things up about 49 metres off from their defensive goal.
One day he will work out that if he jumps that early, he's not going to get near it. But he loves jumping early, he tries to take the ride.
Hickey with the clearance, the outside the ball towards the top of the square. Off hands, King getting back in defence. Quick snap on goal from the Bloods, desperate in the line. Almost played the Markles East. Remember, he's overstaying that point out of there. And just 24 and Ryan Chandler. I called his name all this afternoon, and then a short 5 teammate. And the Cobblers, they short ball towards Shea, on the electronic scoreboard. Dreams a 45-point margin to German. Down the line.
That umpire.
Just very strong hands, a very nice mark in my hand there. They're playing on. Pull the kick towards the top of the square. Into the big fly. Carter. That paid the mark.
He tried to claim it, but there was about 3 other hands in front of his.
And in the end, he took him on and he's going on the board. Freaky play of the Cobblers. Bacchus Marsh look to move on the outside, still dry with it now. Ready to go. Just pounds the one down the line. McIntyre with the fist. Cotter goes inside the head of the voice of Suter. Sold the fifth candy and goes away towards Borg. He comes across there, found Kite. Goes inside 50 with the kick. But turned over. Bacchus Marsh take it on here though. Going for runs Penate with one bounce. Now pounds one towards the vacant 50. Owen and Carter in the foot race. Owens will get there first. Tries to spin Carter on a dime. Just hacks it over the shoulder towards a dangerous area more than anything. And backing back with it with his chest full-hearted. A nice mark taken there by Blake Suter. Kennedy. Nice piercing ball. Finds his target on the ball. Off one step, chips over top, finds Cotter. Just a professional outfit doing their own thing in the Melton. Cotter goes back to Borg. Looks into the corridor with a kick. It's a nice one. Finds his target in Hickey. We'll go to Carter, but he has a longer option in Kite. That's where the kick goes. Another short one, just over quite 15 to Walker. Comes across to Watkins. Happy to share between amongst the players there. Draws a man in Kite over the top. Gets his kick away just in time. Leaning on his mark, all takes the mark. Off to Watkins. Runs the 35, keeps it low. Still might work out. Carter with the underground kick, dribbles it through. Wow. Wasn't pretty, but it was all too easy. And Ryan Carter now becomes the leading goal kicker on the day. And helps his cause because we don't know what's going on with Nick Rodder down at Darley Park.
As does he.
Charges back up the Tony Lockett race.
It's going to be a close one, the Tony Lockett race. Hasn't been close for a couple of years, but it's going to be good to see.
And just, it's all about consistency. Carter being Mr. Consistent this year.
Yep, he's kicked
more goals in every game in the season 2022.
I was about to say that. I don't think there would have been one game where he would have kicked less than one.
11 goals, 874 leads, 3-5-23. A convincing 50-point margin. The Bloods doing as they please. McIntyre this time with it. Down to Hickey. Mason with the spoil. Jeremy without it. Mahito up half forward with the hand pass to Walker. Look away one was superb. Found his target there in Lockie Walker. He goes into the pocket looking for Carter. Able to kick the ball live. Off to Heaney's left footer. Lines up the goals. And kicks a wonderful behind.
I think it's a behind. It is a behind. That was the greatest call behind I've heard in a while, mate.
Got excited but faded late.
Yep.
Trying to get ready up for the goal of the day because then we had an opportunity for one this afternoon.
No, we had one in the reserve though.
Very good goal of the day.
That's a very good goal of the day. We haven't had one here yet.
Other side, you go to Culver's. McIntyre just running underneath that one. Borg. So pick up and go for a run. Takes one bounce in there with Thurston Barker. Comes across towards Suter. I love that the Bloods are not afraid to go backwards. They back their foot skills in, especially here at McPherson Park. Carter, half back, short one to Button. We can just go back to Carter. And he can go to full back. So from half forward, they've worked this all the way towards full back, and they just back themselves in with Phillips to Cotter. We go to Carter. Thanks so much. Happy to give him the cheap kicks.
Yeah, but this is not good. We're only 6 minutes into the last quarter, and I don't know if it's defence. It's so much being defensive, or the fact that's all Bacchus Marsh are around to have. And it's not a good look. I know it's now becoming bruise-free football.
I think goes on the outside, and I think the Q and the Rack's been in there since midway through the third term for the Cobblers. We're starting to look ahead to next week as Clyde comes across towards Watkins. Back to Carter for his third possession on this half-back flank on the broadcast side. Two bounces, just waltzing on the fence and kicks one 14.9 metres to Hickey. We're up by around up to 15.
I think it was a lucky rounding up to 15 then. I would have been surprised that went even 11 metres.
Short pass finds Kite. But 11 possessions in this chain, and we're where it started. Green man and comes out towards the broadcast side. It's just too easy. Darren Mawson.
They're just standing off. The Bacchus Marsh players are just standing off the Melton players.
And like you said, it's all too easy, but now they get to here and everyone's moved up.
Here, just bumps it inside 50 with the long ball. Card up over the top, and all that work, all those possessions, it must be infuriating being Tom German just to watch his side, go side to side, watch and then they send it one time inside 50, easy mark, and shot and goal coming up.
And it was a lot of effort, as you said, just to get down there. They're going to go, they're already 50 points up, but
Carter coming in for number 4 and makes no mistake.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort to get one goal. Yeah, they've kept holding the ball for 20 touches, but, 20 touches to kick a goal. If you sat down and worked out the figures, that'd probably be the highest amount of possessions to get one goal in a string of play, and it's not a good look. Young Mawson's gone into the ruck, so the magnets have been thrown up, and where they land is where they land.
Update for our listeners, Collingwood 7-point victors over North Melbourne in 3 in a row. We have Ballarat 10 points over East Point, Darley still leading Melton South, Sunbury over Lakeland Marine, and Sebastopol over Redan. So it's just a little update what's going on across the competition. We'll keep you updated final scores when you know more. As Mawson, the hand pass to Kite, stepping around with the tackle to O'Leary. Best game in Bloods colours, as I mentioned a few times, that kicked over levelly towards half forward, still not work out. As they go inside 50 towards Mahito, second by the cherry, couldn't quite hang on. Spills out here for Robinson, the Frankie, taken away. Handball over top, was looking for Mahito, trying to get his first goal and senior footy, but couldn't quite get around the rugby tacklers. We're going to ball up 30 from goal. 12-9, 81 leads 3-5, 23. We've played 10 minutes into the final term. Bacchus Marsh yet to tip the scoreboard since the second quarter, if you believe it or not.
And it's not through lack of trying, it's just Melton kept holding the ball, and if it gets down there, the Melton back 6 and just holding them up.
Button, put the stiff arm out, quickly away from Tommy German, should be rewarded, should the coach of Bacchus Marsh with the free kick. That's exactly what the umpire says. German, 1-1 down the line, over the head of Owen. Cotter just gets back and will continue to do as he's pleased this afternoon. Ball-like kick inboard, finds Suter. Follows suit and finds Mahito inside 50, all too easy, finds the target. And it's just becoming a training drill here at McPherson Park with Henry lining up the goal. And 50, it's just use the term bulls free.
It is. Like the Bacchus Marsh boys are hanging back and hanging off. And I don't think Tommy was German will like that at all, and the fact that we've actually said it.
Towards the top of the square, it's just, at this point, getting embarrassing as Carter marks a couple of metres out. Robinson unable to deal with it.
He went to play on and the umpire told him no. Sorry mate, I've called time on. Well, no luck, he plays on.
So Carter will be on the angle, but with 4 goals to his name, number 5 is just intimate from here, and he pops it through with no problems.
And that's 5 for Mr. Carter of the
Right, very much. 13, 9, 87 leads 3 goals, 5, 23.
And I'm sorry, but it's not the sort of football you expect from the side that's on top of the ladder. But what makes it worse, it's not the sort of football you see for a side fighting to stay in the finals race.
Yeah, and all this is going to do now is do some real heavy percentage damage to the Cobblers.
Yep.
And we'll have a look at that when we get a chance to sort of see how things are weighing up now in the competition, because it's going to be a tight finish.
Well, Darley had a bit of percentage and they're going to go above them. And percentage, Sebastopol will go above them. So Bacchus Marsh will actually drop out of the 6 after today.
Yep.
And like I said, there's a couple of players in Bacchus Marsh that they've got to start looking at themselves and wondering whether they're up to league. We talked about they don't have many players missing. Yes, they've probably got one of the best players in the comp missing in Dan Burton, but you can't rest your side's great wins and losses on one player.
Well, one who needs to be impressed by them is Tom German. He's on for goal inside 50 up there, 1-down tackle.
And that's what a captain coach should do.
That's what I would say. Well, we've got a game next week. Up to the goal. Their first one for really close to exactly 2 quarters.
It was about the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. But getting back to it, so Darley have a big win, or they're not having a big win, they're having a 30-point win at the moment over Melton South. Sebastopol a big win over Redan, which puts the 2 games between them and Redan, which is going to be a big thing. But as we said, Bacchus Marsh drop out of the 8. And the 6. Sorry.
Makes next week's encounters even bigger because of ramifications change there. Good for 2 young men, young like here. Morse went out with a 1 down there by Media. Eastman going nowhere with a stoppage. We have a glimpse into the future, these 2 Eastern Bloc sides.
Yeah, it could be.
Something I can get used to calling. Give points to Mawson there. Fight with good.
You've got to give it to Migo. All day he's been reported outsized by a bigger, stronger marker, yet he's, and even McIntyre at times, yet he's done extremely well. And he'd be close to one of the best on ground for Bacchus Marsh by a way.
Panate half forward. Looking for Eastmere. On hands and knees, trying to shovel the hand pass to still try to put the stiff arm out. Cobblers wobbling on inside 50. Carter's in the hole. The Willits gets there first. Back to a good ferocity. But out the back comes the Bloods. Button swings across the cannon. He's left footer. So that's the thing you go through this one. Takes a couple of bounces with the arm on his arm and in the end did with ease. Nice ball down the line. Carter takes the mark.
He's on the true centre wing, right in front of the grandstand, and he's just popped it over. That's to his brother?
Yeah, Carter now something inside 50. Kite burst by the Cherry Crew, hopefully on the second attempt, right on by the veteran Shea, not to infringe there. As they're called out of bounds, Kite didn't say they had a whistle.
And it's a goal.
It's a goal.
Kite's kicked the goal.
But down jump was a long way away from some of the Cobblers players and perplexed. But in the end, the only result is a goal because the ball wasn't called out. Kite kicks his third.
And you play to the whistle. You taught that from junior football. You play to the whistle. On that occasion, does it mean the Bacchus Marsh boys are taking, there's no interest in the game from you? They're 10 goals down. You'd have to say, that's it, the interest is gone. But this is where pride comes in. I'm watching Tommy German walking in the middle there, and he's still walking through with his head up. Now, they've got to start supporting this bloke, because if you don't, it becomes a very hard thing for him to stay in the line. And I reckon Owen's gone back.
Just as time to believe here, and probably salvage any percentage points that they will need. As we said, went to this game with a unfavourable 101% percentage. Now it's going to take a catastrophic hit after a low-scoring performance from him and a big against, as Mawson sends it towards centre half forward. Opportunity here for Hickey. Step around a loopy tackle once, but not now twice. Off the Walker, centering ball towards Watkins. Got the mark, somewhere in the body, and kicked the goal.
Third. And that's his third as well. And was it?
Yeah, it's his third goal.
Wow, we're looking here, we're sitting here and we're looking at this, and Braden Kite's got 3, Rocky Watkins has got 3, William Carter's got 2, Ryan Carter's got 5. Again, it's not a dominant from all perspectives. There's not a lot of goal kickers, but the guys that kick the goals are the same ones week in, week out. They are consistent, and that's what you can want.
So is this the foot on the throat we were talking about pre-game?
This is definitely the foot on the throat. I didn't think it was coming, but it is now.
70 points to margin here. All too easy. King trying his way through. Didn't have any problem. She says the umpire, so free ball on the defensive side of the centre square.
You can call that one, Sammy.
No, as well goes towards half forward for the Marsh, who definitely their foot off the gas if you want to keep feeding the oldies going. Yes, I don't know what the point of view of that was, but
yeah, but the thing is they're a senior side. Most of these guys out there, and I'm not going to say all of them, but the majority should be out there. They're on a point. They've got to start showing some effort. This is not effort. We talk about a Sunbury, and they were struggling, but they're showing effort now. They're doing something about it. this Bacchus Marsh side, if they want to play finals by the end of this year, and they haven't got an easy run home, they need to show effort in games like this, and they're not showing it.
Well, it's pretty obvious that they're good and bad, too far in between at the minute. As Walker on the broadcast side, we go towards half forward with the kick looking for Carter. Couldn't quite bring it down, but knocked it towards the boundary line. Ryan kept it in. Then at the back finds Walker. He can go back to Carter if he wants. Off the instep, we wobble it inside 50 towards Orr. Bit too low for the big man to get down and pick it up. And in the end, well, knocking out of play. There's the Max Marsh defence as deliveries right to go down to throw-in. 18 minutes gone in this final term, 70 points to the margin.
There's been too many passengers for Bacchus Marsh today.
There's a lot of names we've called very, very sparsely.
Again, the midfield's been industrious, but not supporting either end with either goals from the forwards or defence holding up under pressure. Phillips to Borg. Gets a little goose step that he loves to do going. Left foot kicks a beauty on the outside towards Carter. Couldn't quite bring it down to one Duke. Oh, that was probably a question of being handled. Yep. Max Marsh trying to get it off half back. He passes a good one to Belden. And now they can rake free. Porter over the top. Down King off one step. Just pounds it forward and hope, but guess who? Jordy Cotter intercepts some marks and probably been BOG this afternoon.
Pretty close too.
Carter comes across. It's a mighty Baden Kite. Kicks a good one. We find Hickey. Spins over the bump and kicks it out towards Walk on the broadcast side. He goes short and just working hard and moving his Hanley. Goes inside 50. He had McIntyre, but over his head. Found one of go.
They're doing it quite easily at the moment, the Melton boys.
Are you thinking this running that we talked about earlier, the pre-season of running they're doing at the moment, a month of running, is what the factor is and the difference?
I think it's one of the main reasons. But here he comes in with a thumping kick. Just fade away for a final score. Just trying to get excited for the youngster.
Yeah, we love him. We don't know used to see him, but we did get told by Jimsy that there was a chance Mojito would go forward if things got the way they are now.
Yeah, well, easy's an understatement at this point. I mean, I'm going to be bullish and say this has been quite an embarrassing and disappointing performance from Cobblers at the minute. I remember our producer here at 979, we're sitting back and listening to this in despair of hearing how much this side's really just lacking in effort this afternoon. That's just the moral of the story.
Do you think today especially, do you think Bacchus Marsh have had too many passengers? And
there's probably about 15 of them at the minute.
And do you think that it's normally the stars? You can't put it on Tommy German. He's tried hard the whole day, and he's putting in tackles. He's chasing players still, and there are other players that normally, who are they really missing?
Besides Burton, I'd argue probably no one. Maybe Williams is the other one. That would probably be first choice selection. And Kenny Rick goes inside 50 for the Bloods.
McIntyre.
Yeah, I don't know what to mark on that occasion. Bulls in the speed and locked up at 35 from goal. But we said it before as we took the timeline in the final term. I mean, Dan Burton out of the side is obviously a big loss.
But he's not a
shouldn't be a 12 goal difference.
Yeah. And Mika hasn't exactly been embarrassed by
he's one of the ones that hasn't been a passenger. So what's that going to say to you in terms of your review with League? If this bloke in his second game of senior footy and put in a bigger effort than blokes played twice now, well not twice, but a lot more football than he has. Hard questions need to be asked the selection table asks me.
Robinson's been trying hard.
He marks now, taking side centre wing, saves with a foot candy. Left footer will go back to his side. Mawson didn't know it. Comes inside 50, but guess who? Just cuts off straight to Cotter, who it's just simple for him. It's just picking him off at will as Carter comes across and finds a target in Borg. And he'll just chip it over the top as well towards Hickey. And the chain starts again.
Do you think they waited too long to pull the trigger on Jake Owen and put him down forward?
Absolutely. I think when they were getting on top in that second term, that was the moment. Try to get a couple of goals out of him. Try to get a spark into the contest. Suda in the middle of the ground. After Watkins, who's had plenty of it as always. Inside 50 with a kick, and Benito takes the mark. He plays on, runs to 35, and this time misses to the right.
And I don't know, but Eastmore looks like he's been taken out by a sniper. I think he's done a hammy there in the middle of the ground.
He looks done. As we've called a stop to it, because he can't get up. Trainers coming out from both sides to have a look at him.
Now, this is what should have happened last week. It might be cramp, it might be a hammy. Yeah, but the umpires said, no, bad luck, play on. And that's fair call. The kid's up and about and moving. He's all right. They're just cramp. He's tried his guts out all day as Eastmore.
Short kick will find King in defence. 23 minutes gone. Final turn. Overs up there towards Still Dry. Measured pass is partially smothered, and Hastings was going to play for a second, but it's now going to find its way over, you think, it will be a ball in.
Yeah, Jake Allen's going to be quiet in this quarter, and he's not the only one, but you'd have to say between for the first three quarters, him and Mega for the BAG, but you'd definitely give it to Mega in this game.
And then there by McIntyre with Shea applying the pressure. Just being the usual suspects for the Marsh, but unfortunately just not getting enough out of the bottom six in season 2022. To be frank, top six is very good, bottom six has issues, as we're going to ball in the half-forward line.
As the ground is bathed in sunshine for the first time today, then the game's just about over.
Yes, every time. 24 minutes gone. McIntyre again. Shea, wrapped up by a couple of Bloods players who just continue to hunt in numbers.
And Shea's just absolutely given everything. If he's one player that could walk off holding his head. To give the best on ground to Melton, you're going to struggle because there's just so many of them.
Porter took him on, and I thought he tried something, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him. Well, in the end, it's been saved by the boundary line. Thought it might have been some incorrect disposal.
Yeah, and there's a lot of players walking around for Melton out there now with smiles on their face, and so they should. They've done more than enough, and they've definitely put the foot down to win this game.
Can we make the pain even more? Oof. Haven't had much of it. Porter is kicking inboard, and Suda now this time playing the role of cover of interceptor. Goes across towards Button. Goes for right centre out back. Kick inboard's a good one. Should find its man. And Kennedy. Left foot kick. Finds its target. Just queuing up, trying to hit the scoreboard at the minute are the Bloods. As Hickey goes inside 50. And that's Jake Owen.
Unbelievable.
Comes in towards the broadcast side of the kick. Opportunity now for Bacchus Marsh to work it forward. Robinson in front of Suda. Worked his way in front nicely, couldn't take the mark. Gets some support to arrive. Pressure comes late from Mawson to crash and bash his way through. Now the Bloods might go the other way. And by Carter, step through a whippy tackler. Handball off towards a teammate, towards the half-forward flank region. William Carter got across with a hand in there. Manito, looking for Watkins. Mawson, got one over the shoulder, will be rewarded. And now goes inside 50 quickly with the kick. Turns it over there, getting back there, and Mason takes the mark. Mason comes across the defensive goal, and we'll find Owen. Plays on and uses his left foot on this occasion, sets a task there for King. Got a kind bounce and was able to collect and go inside towards LaFranchi. He loads up a long ball to a one-on-one contest. Freeman wants to go back. He's a big young strong boy. Should make amends for his miss before, runs in and kicks his second.
And there's a bit of hope there and a bit of joy to see someone like a young Freeman kick his second goal. He had his try all day. He's done a bit of the grunt work at the same time. Throwing people, getting his body in there and having a push and a shove, but
it's still older under 16s football as well.
That's how scary it is.
And of course, this is the Western Jets as a bottom age player. Got another year there to develop as well.
Yep.
Not necessarily, I think they've seen here too long with how much talent is around him, but a couple of goals are a bad day for a forward if you're a Bacchus Marsh player. Something to hold your head high if you're a Cobras fan.
And you know what? It was good to see the young kid. He didn't do too much celebrating with all there. He realises where it's at and he's just playing the game.
Dirty way for the Cobras is when a free kick come back in the middle of the ground for the hole and it's going to way over Leary. They're playing on. Doing the man. Sends it inside 50.
Kite over the back.
The Cobras paid the mark, and in the end, the Cobras come away with a German on the other side. And the king of all turnbull kick almost made too tough, and the big man fell over, coughed it off the hand pass. And now I'm cheering for the Bloods. High kick from Hickey, go right towards the goal square. Off hands, not paid the mark. Cobras gets in the numbers across to defend. Swinging hand pass in the still dry direction. Hickey steps around the whoopie tackler. Tucked up against the Angelo. Miracle kick on goals across the face. Getting back there to mark second leg Holder just to hold things up inside defensive 50. 28 minutes going in the final term.
And there's the siren.
And the last kick of the game ball ends up in the hands of Jake Owen. With that, we'll do it here at Manly Park, at McPherson Park. It is Melton, 16 goals, 11 this afternoon, 107 defeating Bacchus Marsh, 5-5-35 on BFL run of the round. A comfortable victory for the Bloods, who can hold their heads pretty high this afternoon, 11 in a row.
And quickly, I'll give the goal scorers before we go into the game too much. Obviously, Ryan Carter had the 5. Then we had Braden Kite, Rocky Watkins with 3, Liam Carter with 2, and then